3, 2, 1.
Light them up.
I'm Paul.
This is Buck.
This is the Paul and Buck Show.
Hey, the big bucking deal. Hear us. Download the latest app at paulandbuckshow.podbean.com.
Okay, guys, we're back. We got Paul,
Hey.
Buck, Paul and Buck Show, big bucking deal. We have some returning guests.
Oh yeah, we've got them back.
We got them back,
and kind of excited.
Yeah, it's exciting because we want to get back fulfilled. What has happened?
They've been
in
at
the last
almost
6
every
months.
event that we've been
Well,
here.
I mean, you guys have been attending pretty much a lot of
All
races
of them,
here
yeah.
within the past first of the year.
You
I guess.
said you would. You did it.
You
I
did.
saw the cars. I'm like, shit, they're fast. Even the slowest car was fast.
Yeah. So again, we're just gonna get everybody re-familiar. We have
Michelle Kato.
Stephen Ross. Chris Kato.
Chris Kato, of course. So welcome back again. Appreciate it, guys, stepping back in with us. And like I said, we just like to check in with the previous
512.
guests, the 512, and everything that's going on. You know, just get everybody up to speed. What you guys been
Right.
doing, and like you said, they've been killing it.
So we always mention Tamayo because he's the one that started breaking in the top end no prep by Little River. He
Tomato.
He kind of gathered the old school with the new school, and that's where I first saw y'all show up. Well, I saw you show up, and I saw your car, but it wasn't towards the middle. It was at the middle of the event that I saw y'all, and I'm like, oh crap, it's gonna get pretty good. And you know, Thomas, our buddy Thomas Webb, he was there too. So we get there. You know, you guys have some of the faster, you know, old school nitro style cars, and so I look up. Thomas already has a cloud of smoke. You know, he's already burning Little River down. You know, I'm like, holy smoke. So I was hoping maybe you had your car there, but no, it was either yours or yours. I don't know which car y'all took first.
Probably both of them.
Well, we started the year with
The
our
white
little
one?
street car.
Yeah, the street car.
And then we were kind of standing around the shop, working
Yeah.
on stuff, and Nick Nicey was there, and we're all just kind of shooting the shit like we normally do.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, we need to build another car for this top end deal.
That's the way.
Yeah, because they had the small tire, and then they had the slow class.
Slow
they
car.
had a stick class, but only 2 cars entered that.
Yeah, so they've been trying to
Yeah.
They've been trying to field a couple extra classes to
Yeah,
give
yeah.
more
So
opportunities.
slower
for
class
stuff.
to
Yeah.
slow down. Even the slow class was kind
But
of
I think
fast.
I think the 7.0 class is pretty good.
Yeah.
You can get some street cars and some slower,
Right.
some other slower cars out there. But so we were like, well, we had my little bracket car sitting out in the field. It's been there for a while,
Yeah.
and we just kind of like, I mean, it's got a motor sitting in it.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet that car would work okay on the no prep.
So what kind of car? Explain to us what does the car look like? What do you have in it? What is it?
Well, so
Without giving away too much details, this is supposed to
Oh,
be.
it's
car, right?
open book. We're not gonna. We have no reason to lie. People look at us like
All
we're crazy when we talk about it, but I mean, it's literally the car. I've been I bracket raced for 5 or 6 years at Little River.
Yeah.
You know, it's never really done anything super crazy. It's just a pump gas, steel-headed big block.
Okay.
I mean, it's built to be a street motor,
Yeah.
just to be super reliable. Never pull the valve covers off.
Ford
never open
motor.
the hood. Never touch it. Yeah,
Yeah.
big block
Okay.
Ford boat anchor. Is like we
The boat anchor.
lovingly like to call it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been a really good motor. It's been sitting for a while, and we just like, let's just throw it together and just see how it does. And, I mean,
That's how the plan comes
Yeah.
about. Let's
Yeah.
BS in. Okay,
Yeah.
we got a car.
And
That's how it starts.
we threw it together in
Yeah.
2 weekends, and then
And
no
it-
test passes, no nothing.
Damn.
Took it out there. And I mean, it did okay.
and
We
then
still got some work to do,
it
but
went to Mexico,
went to
and
Mexico.
it won in Mexico.
I tried Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
The white
That
car.
was-
the white car and
The
the,
white car
yellow
was-
Was this
car
the time you were there?
were in the
No, I
finals.
don't think so. I've seen videos though. Was it like
Okay.
like the end of the year, beginning of this year? It was cold. I remember it was cold. Wasn't it cold out?
It
It's-
wasn't.
it was-
No,
it
was
Like in the
only
pro-
a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the white car visits Mexico pretty
I
regularly.
got you.
That's our Swiss Army knife car.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But we just threw it together.
yeah.
It's doing
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, considering it's just a bunch of spare parts. We were joking with people at the top end race that it's
Yeah.
a bunch of parts that have been sitting around for
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 years, and it's, I mean, no bullshit. It's all stuff that's been sitting on the shelf, and we toss it together. And
No lift. Just.
yeah, first pass was actually pretty good. You know, we're having some suspension problems right now, so we got to mess with that. But I mean, Nick just went straight A to B. Went
So which class were you in? Were you in the small tire or were you in the slow car?
slow
Slow
car.
car? Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, it's It's only like a 93 octane
Oh,
gas
okay.
big block. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't have nitrous, nothing.
Well, you can get lucky in that small tire class if
mean,
somebody
on
knew what they're doing. You'll
It runs pretty
The
good.
thing
Yeah.
about the slow, 650 is not slow. I mean,
No.
really, if you think
No,
about
especially
it.
on no prep, I
it's
mean.
not
Yeah,
slow.
on a top end deal,
Yeah.
it's not slow.
It's not slow. I mean, so it's a
No,
competitor.
it sounds deceiving.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
deceiving because it's not slow.
Yeah, because I know some guys that were there that they didn't do too well for that slow class. You would think, but
It's tough.
it was a learning game for some of these guys. I mean, there was one guy, I don't know where he came from. Man, he had a really nice. I mean, the car could have ran really well. It looked like it ran really well, but
What car was it? Do you know?
I mean, that's
there was
it
a
a-
couple there. There's a couple
that
cars.
650 class is rough,
there was
man. Those
I
people
remember a
are really
Trans Am.
good.
There was a Trans Am, was a white Trans Am that was there.
Oh yeah, he was running 7.0 this last race.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like a streetish type car.
Yeah, he had a
or
four-
like on the same line.
Yeah, I asked him a few
or
questions.
white
He had a
car.
480E. He had some. I think he had a 6.0. I don't know. He did modify, but it was a street car. You could tell full exhaust and all that stuff. And at the end it's Biddle and that El Camino, man. And that El Camino was driving around too. You could see that El Camino driving.
Oh,
So.
and that car's killer on 650, especially on that stuff.
Yeah.
We beat him in the white car in Mexico for a slow car deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a pretty virgin road, so they were spinning, they were having a little bit of issues. But we had to cut a break because that guy, I know he runs pretty much
Yeah.
dead on the number.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's
there's
always
no
there's
joke with
always
those guys.
competitors in that class. That class is like close. It's like it draws everybody. There's like 20 cars average. Like seems like.
Oh,
every
at
time.
least, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's pretty popular.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were surprised because we were standing there where they were doing the call outs. And I guess towards the end, I guess they gathered their marbles and they figured out this class is doubling in the entries. And so I think by the second one, they even had more cars, and they introduced the slower class because there was cars that
There
wanted
were
to.
street cars.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they wanted to be in that slow class, and they realized that's not too slow. So I guess they
They made
put
another
in
class. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I guess there's been quite a bit.
That 7.0 is what we wanted in the white car.
Wow. Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah. So
So, I
it's,
mean,
it's
that
for
was-
street cars.
and you have it
Right,
on
once.
slicks or radials? What do you have it on?
Slicks.
Slicks on it.
It's
Okay.
been on radials. It was on radials a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, for
Okay.
the first time on a prep track.
On a prep track.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many events have you hit up this year already?
Ooh, probably including Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, 5, 6, maybe 7.
yeah.
That's been quite a bit.
Yeah, that's quite. I mean, considering what races are out there,
yeah.
it's pretty good. I mean, you guys staying pretty busy.
So
Yeah.
which ones are the ones that we've been keeping an eye on? We were talking about the one up some of the races that went up north where the faster cars were. We
Well,
talked
that
about
was
a little bit.
that was the big Jake race at
Yeah.
XRP, and then Mikey,
Oh yeah.
Hollis. Right?
The radio
Yeah,
roundup.
That's
The
when
radio
y'all.
roundup.
That's when y'all attended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was huge. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
Little River.
and
The
then
what was it? The Top Gun? Was it Top Gun? Or
yeah,
was
Top Gun. They had one in March.
March
and then the
25th,
one
yeah.
got rained out beginning of this year. Big Sleepy. They ever happened at Top Gun.
Oh, yeah, that was one.
And
a while ago.
so, I think they're gonna have that makeup at the end of the month. I guess
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that. So, but yeah, there was a good 2 weeks of action, and then they had the big one in Yellow Belly this past weekend.
That
That
attracted
was
some
big, yeah.
California
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of people.
Did y'all go to that one?
Oh, no.
Not that one. We always get mixed emotions on Yellow Belly.
After lots of racing,
I've
lots of
never,
everything,
I've
we
never
were taking a
been,
break.
but to see the people standing on the side of the track up
Yeah.
to the 60 foot.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
You get a little squirrely, then you know.
It's funny because you see the people, the photographers, the media. They're like literally right
Like,
there.
I could care who's standing.
Yeah.
I could care less who's standing next to my car after I do my burnout. When I'm getting ready to
Yeah.
launch. But if I'm, if I'm going,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah, it's more of a safety thing, anything. But anyway,
but that's an outlaw track.
yeah, that's an outlaw track. I mean, they do it, fantastic, hands down. I'm kind of with you. Like,
Right.
I'm at the one too where I like to go enjoy racing. I don't want to be, preparing to fight somebody.
How long has that
Yeah,
track
yeah.
been underground like that with the fast cars? Because I know it's a vintage track, but
As far as
nobody
I-
knew that this track's been underground for years of
Well, I mean,
bets, races, booze, fightings. I mean,
I don't know.
I've heard it all, man.
Gunshots.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It hasn't been talked about.
I
But
want
it's
to
been around.
say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been getting.
I want to say it's almost as old as like Little River, like in the
Is it?
I
50,
believe
60
so. It's
area.
about the same
Yeah,
time.
But as far as it being like an official underground track, I mean, I want to say ever since like the No Prep came around, 5-6 years ago,
Yeah,
and then
they
really
started taking them in.
Yeah, he's like, come on over to us. We'll run it. It's outlaw, So,
Not to say that, maybe we might run a no prep race
Right.
there, but Rosie won't be there.
No, I think
Yeah.
your car's a little too quick.
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
a narrow track like that. So.
and it's almost like there's not saying that this would happen to anybody, because I don't like to have accident, but there's an accident there. Like when the fast cars are there, there's always an accident there. So.
Well, there was one. I don't know. I guess the beginning of the year or into the last year. It was an old Mustang, and man, he ate it. He just lost it a little bit, but it didn't take much. He couldn't save it. I mean, there's just not enough room, and he took out his whole front end. That was a really nice car.
Yeah.
But to ruin a unibody, the whole. I mean, it's like, man, there goes that nice car. It's like race another day with another car.
Yeah, like I said. That track, so those racing events are happening. They're popular, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because Yellow Belly brought a big crowd. Like there are people from states. When you have that payout and that's the thing you're into, it's going to bring
That's what
everybody.
it is.
Well, and it seems like the further north you go, the
That's
more
more popular.
spectators. I mean, or at No Prep, and even like the radio roundup, there
right.
were tons of people there. I mean, it was packed.
It was packed. I mean, in the car count. I mean, the car count was like
Right.
huge, right? So, I mean, it's been talked about. I mean, they were just like a 60 plus or whatever it was in whatever class. But Mikey had stuff going on Friday night and Saturday. I mean, it was like a full fledged, in those classes. I want to say there were like 24 classes.
Wow.
I want to say.
That was a lot.
Yeah,
it
they
was
had classes. They had a class run on Friday, which Chris raced in,
Oh, okay.
and then they even had Power Wheels and Junior
Yeah,
Dragsters
there you go.
there,
Which,
too.
which is cool. I mean, I dig that as family, right?
Our granddaughter raced in Power Wheels.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it brings out everything. Which again, we talked about promoters. Mikey Hollis, man, he's
Right.
promoting. There's tons of them here in Texas.
Yeah,
right? There's that Tommy Gunn,
yeah.
right? I mean, Gunner or whatever his name is.
I know the
The guy
voice.
that did the Yellow Belly deal. But so the promoters they're doing what they can, and they are.
Yeah.
They're making it happen, right? They're
Yeah,
bringing big payouts.
I say there's two types of promoters. There's the promoter that sees the entrance of expectation, and then there's the guys that just want to bring on an event to race. And you can always tell the difference between the two, because you go up, like he was saying right now, you go up north Texas and you start seeing these events. You start seeing the stands start, or behind your bumper at least. Everybody's there. So there's obviously a different formula as far as how they organize the payouts and how they push to get the audience to also show up, because that's also money.
Yeah, I know that Michael Hollis gets a whole bunch of sponsors. We participated
that's part-
again
yeah,
in that.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, you get the sponsors, like you guys are supporting it, right? And many, many others, which is, hey, it's great. That's what you got to do. You get the payout, they're going to come, right? They're going to follow. So,
I was going to ask you one thing, because I started noticing again through Racebook, everybody's avatar, little profile. Certain people that I saw were running the ad for the San Antonio, running the little avatar for San Antonio, like putting a sponsorship or advertisement. And so I kind of had a question as to what, certain people are changing their profile. Is it something that they approached you guys, or something that you guys were just willing in
What
support
you're talking
of?
about for the Radio Roundup deal?
Not sure what it was. It was San Antonio.
Well,
It said San Antonio.
Radio Roundup
We were
was-
doing the one for the Roundup.
Yeah.
Is that what that
Like
one was?
whenever you say you're going to come, he'll make you locked in.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was
he- then he
Roundup.
did-
That was
then
the
he did a
Roundup?
drawing for like free
okay.
entry or something.
Yeah, he
Really
asked
just a-
everybody if you're going to attend, change your profile to the locked, whatever it was, the locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making them for like the Power Wheels kids
So, I mean,
and stuff. It was
so
really
think
good.
about that. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. There's always a promoter out there that knows he sees vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
that's a good marketing thing, right?
It
So
is.
if somebody that's not in the race, they see your profile and they see your picture, like, hey, what's this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They dig into it, like, oh, they.
Well, and it's
they
good
dig
for the
into it.
for the sponsors too, because
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
all those locked-in things have all the sponsors listed at the bottom,
They
and the
do,
dates,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
and more exposure.
I like
which
when
is
you
good.
make those little the little dream cards of whatever you're catching, like with your your car and you're locked in. That's good. So that's,
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, it caught my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me ask you a few questions as to when is more of that coming this way. I mean,
Yeah.
but anyway, those were some fast cars.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, fast cars. Right.
So your car, you said you were working on it back then to get it into some of these races. I don't know if
Yeah,
you were
that-
going to detune it or what exactly
Yeah, that was
going
that was
on.
what we left off
Yeah.
6 months ago, right? So you
We-
talked about what your plans were, right? And
We fell victim to the
the rules.
parts supply, the supply shortage or supply chain.
Yeah,
problems.
supply and demand shortage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we waited a long time for rocker arms,
Well,
and then we had some other things that we waited a long time for, like heads, and but then it finally all came together. Yeah.
Boom, boom, right there, like
at the
the
last
mean-
minute.
Yeah, and you know,
Tuesday of the race.
Tuesday is when we picked up my motor.
So that was it was cram time, right? From when
Yeah.
you got it to like that. Y'all
Well,
y'all left Thursday or Friday. To
No,
go
we
Friday.
didn't install until Thursday. So we spent Thursday getting everything ready and installing and getting the cars ready. So
Wow, and that's 3 cars or 2.
Yeah, I mean-
3 cars, yeah.
Chris's car was just needed radials on it. I mean that car is like just jump in and go.
Turn,
You know.
Nice.
put gas in it, right? You're good, right?
Yeah. You put some 93 in it and a little octane boost, and it's good to go.
So that was the week of the radio roundup. So
Yeah.
So let's go into that. Let's if you're willing to share, right? So cram time, late nights.
No sleep or sleep. How'd that go?
Not much sleep.
Chris, you have any sleep?
Yeah, well, enough.
Enough. Yeah.
Just enough, right?
We're
So
just getting started.
so basically, from Tuesday to Thursday, I guess you guys load the car Friday. Y'all get up there, no test. I mean, for your car.
Yeah, we
Is-
didn't.
is there-
Well, we needed special oil to do the oil change, and we couldn't get it. We had to go to Summit. So Chris had to drive to Summit with the trailer with his car. He was towing his car in a trailer, and then Steven and I went to the track with my car and his car in the stacker. And so we had to wait for him to get back from Summit. So we missed the first test session.
Oh wow.
I mean, the test session on
Yeah, on
Friday. We
Friday.
missed
Yeah,
Thursday
yeah.
already, and then we missed Friday. So we're like, we're just here to support, and we'll treat this as a test session.
Yeah,
and,
there you go.
And that's what we did.
You
So
supported the event. That's good, right?
yeah. Friday night I made
Well,
my
we get there with a completely new motor, different heads, different cams.
Yeah.
different-
Yeah. A whole
everything
new
is
car.
different.
I mean, well, a
And-
whole different top end with different fuel.
and we haven't
different
gone
injectors.
fast in almost 2 years
Yeah.
It's been 2 years, almost 2
because
years.
we ran in Texas 275, so everything was small jet. So now we're going back to the big boys, and it's all different. And there's no data anymore because it's all different.
'Cause
We're
it was small
starting.
jet.
different
We're
combination.
starting.
Yeah.
We're starting all over.
Damn. So what's
Yeah.
the fastest you've been in that car again?
Well, I can't really.
Well, no, back when you were doing back when you were doing the like 4 years ago. I mean, when you went to the radio.
Georgia and stuff.
yeah.
I mean,
As far as your seat time, that's what I'm talking about. You and
More
your car
than a
back
year
then.
ago.
More than a year
Yeah.
ago. Let's just make that clear.
Yeah.
More
More than
than
365
more than
days.
365
I'm
days
telling
Has
ago.
no effect on these new Texas rules.
Yeah.
She can disclose that because it's probably the data's are probably out there anyway.
What's this?
Someone
No class cars. No.
Yeah.
So that,
Time
Yeah.
that's official because
So,
I said you make that
I am
clear.
a no-time
Official.
car, so this is 2 years ago.
pretty slow.
I know. But it ain't gonna be that way now.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
So she knows how to drive is basically what I'm getting at. So
Yeah,
hey, if
that-
y'all
that's-
see that little car, watch out.
That's
you
the
know?
point, right? That's the
Yeah.
point. Everybody knows that Michelle can drive, and the
Yeah.
car, like I said, I like that I like the way you made it clear that.
Yeah.
Because upon the rules, of
We've
the
talked
crap run,
about that.
yeah,
Like, hey
you
man, there's
can't-
this thing, you know.
You can't discard
Yeah.
your time and whatever.
Yeah.
So, good deal, right? We disclosed
Yeah.
that.
I bet it makes
was-
people nervous when they see that little pink car line up. Like, oh shit, you know.
Well, nobody knows me.
well then.
Nobody knows who I am.
You
in
think
this
so? You
world.
think?
Especially when they see the gorilla flames flying out when they launch.
Well, let me tell you.
That's the thing. And you're like, oh,
We're at struggle bus.
We had it was a test session for sure. The first pass we made was a motor pass on Friday night. So we made a motor pass on
pass,
Friday
good.
night.
in our test, in our qualifying.
Yeah, in our qualifying. And then we made a small jet test pass on nitrous.
just to get the feel.
Yeah,
right? Just get
yeah,
the-
just to get the feel.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is, I thought I'd be so rusty.
Still there.
Still there.
I mean, I just felt real comfortable, and I wasn't nervous at all. And then we lined up on Saturday for our hit, and of course we pulled up to the front of the lanes. Guess who's at the front of the lanes? Daddy Dave in Goliath on small tires. And I'm thinking, he's
Oh, I
gonna
think I
walk
saw that
me.
video.
That thing's long.
Yeah, I saw that.
That thing's
Yeah.
fast.
And it was really nice. He came over and, said, don't embarrass me too bad. And I'm like, oh, please.
Oh.
I'm making a half-track pass.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I said, you're going to be way down there. You won't even see me. And he was like, okay, sure. And I was like, yeah. And so then he spun the tires and I just went,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
yeah.
I thought I saw that. I mean, like I said, I always tell Buck here, man. I said, man, this Facebook, it says lack of coverage somehow because it gets scattered out and you got to go hunt down the videos,
Oh,
right?
it's
There's not one spot where you can
Well, it gets,
sit there.
it gets lost in the flood.
It does. That's what I'm saying. But I saw that. I think I saw that.
But a really nice guy. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. I mean, that's good to hear. I mean, I like a good sportsman, and
Right.
just being that, he gave you acknowledgement, right? Say, hey, you're running
Yeah.
a paired up against you, right? Say, hey, good luck or whatever, be safe, right?
When he was,
Yeah, and when I was getting out of the car, his friend or his crew guy came over and opened the door for me. Like, I open doors for all ladies, and I'm like, okay, I'm not a lady when I'm in the car, but
Kick your butt.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, hey, step
But I was
aside.
like, thank you.
In the
But
military,
yeah, so that's
sir.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat.
That is cool. That's cool. Well, little data. So Thursday, Friday, you got a qualifying pass or whatever test pass, and then you went into run eliminations. I mean, you went
On
in
Saturday
Saturday
night,
So,
yeah. And we weren't sure. I mean, you can go ahead and go from here because we had
like zero data.
we're flying by the seat of our pants,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
did y'all go ahead and bigger jets back in from the previous small jets?
the one against Daddy Dave, we had gone to a little bigger, not near as big as we've been before.
Right.
Still considerably less than we've run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we wanted to throw a little more jet in it and that's why we made a half track pass just to get a plug read, make sure we weren't.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, because with the different fuel and everything, that's the last thing we want to do is tear it
oh,
up.
and we
I mean,
switched
it's-
fuel too.
It's brand.
Gee.
It's
That's another double.
But you know how that is. Brand new motor, brand new everything.
Right.
Last thing you want to do is tear it up, just trying to make a hero pass.
Right.
Yeah. Just go A to B.
We ain't got something for white chocolate. Some of those other cars that
No.
they got lots of laps and those cars are really fast.
Right.
So we knew if we were gonna line up against them, it was gonna be what it is.
Well,
Make a
like, so
half-track
you guys
pass.
went in for you knew going in on that elimination or Saturday. You just getting data. I mean, you knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna try and win the round, but we're not gonna kill
Yeah.
the car trying to do it.
Right. If it
So-
goes,
Right.
it goes. If it
Yeah.
don't.
So
Yeah.
Chris, so basically, I mean, going in for what they're saying is that you're kind of blind, right? I mean, you're just trying to get a feel with the small jets, get some read, and then step it up from there. Baby steps, I guess.
Yeah, we're always conservative just because we don't have the budget to rebuild it every time. So
Of course.
we go in and get it set up or put a pretty basic ramp in the nitro is just something that we should go down.
Right.
And depending on the first
First one you put timing in.
we after the hot pass we thought, okay, well it went down during the heat of the day, so
Which is good. Yeah.
we should be able to put some more in it.
Yeah.
Well, turns out
Little hot.
a little too much.
a little hot.
Got lucky, the car went red against us, so we knocked the tires off, and
And it was a big boomer.
it went up so fast.
You know
there was
the
no catching
nitrous big boomer. Of course, they have it in stages,
super slow-mo.
slow-mo.
Guys,
And
Makes
it's
for good
blowing,
pictures, but
it does make
it really doesn't.
Yeah, the
doesn't
media
hurt the
guys
car.
are professional, so they get in.
so
right.
it booms, and I'm like, well, I still got oil pressure and everything, and nothing, and I'm
That's
not
good.
hearing it. I'm like, it sucked it right back in. So nitrous, it's like it's sucked in, it's out. I drove down track.
Yeah.
I guess everybody was checking the track and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, you're fine.
do you not know what
Not
nitrous
the
has to
first,
do?
not the first time, not the last time.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what the
Been
cars
there,
are
done
now.
that. I'll win.
Yeah.
Yeah, been there, done that, right?
So then I guess you backed it down a little, right?
Backed it down and went up next round, and
We had a little,
We had Lynn Bragg with a little Opal, and that thing's
the little Opal.
stupid fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
And
We put something a little more conservative in it, not.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I left on him.
Yeah, you
Like-
did your driving duties, right? Yeah.
I did my driving duties.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him. He didn't. I'm pretty sure it had to be a car length. I don't know for sure.
Are you just racing the track or are you keeping an awareness of your opponent? Are you just an A
Well,
to
I
B?
look for them because
Yeah,
I mean,
you
when
got
you get
to.
to the
Well,
end of the
that's
track,
true,
you got to
yeah.
know where
No,
they
I
are.
mean,
You gotta know where they
really,
are.
we race the surface. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
Yeah.
all. That's all we can do.
we try and stay in our own.
I could really care less who's in the other
We
one.
try and stay in our own
Right.
race.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
But I try to be
You still
knowledgeable
gotta-
about where they are.
Because you don't know if they're going to cut. You just got to be aware of
And
where they're at.
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
usually
true.
courtesy that if you're out front, that they let you
Yeah.
exit first. You know, I mean, that's just the way that it always has been.
That's always been like that.
yeah. Whenever
So-
we go up there to race somebody, we don't
It's just-
we don't get usually
yeah.
too bothered on who's in the other lane. We do try and plan ahead. You know, if we know, okay, we're gonna have somebody, we're gonna have to step it up a little bit, you know, for later. But we're not going up to, oh, well, we got so and so in their car. We need to try and pull a number out of it. But no, we're gonna try and make a number. That
And
we
we're
think's
not
gonna
up
go
there.
down.
We're not talking smack up there.
No.
You know, I mean,
Right.
I just in the car, and you know, it's
Especially,
yeah.
especially the no time cars that were at the roundup were. There was a bunch of bears in that class.
Yeah,
so
there were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were a little outgunned for this one. We were just where we were at.
I mean,
you
you
know,
got
with two
Marty-
passes on the motor.
Marty Stinnett and
Oh, I
that.
know. Yeah,
That car
that's
was
a big
an
name,
animal.
man.
Yeah, and
That's
that
a big
vet. Oh God. Yeah.
That car was pretty.
Which-
though.
which
That was a
one-
pretty
what-
car.
what color?
It was like that. It was like a
What year?
C7 vet. I don't know what it was.
Was it like big block?
It was a Hemi
Pro-
Pro Charge deal.
Hemi
That was the one that was popping the wheel. I think I saw that one. Okay.
That car didn't pick up the front tire.
No.
I would
No?
say,
Mm-mm.
That
this
car
was
was-
a, this
look,
was a
was
beast. This is
styled.
probably every bit of a $300,000 car.
Yeah.
Or
Ooh.
probably-
Oh yeah, it's
at least.
beautiful.
That's
It's
definitely not that
beautiful.
Yeah, there was lots of nice cars there, but I don't know. That's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I'm a
Yeah.
Ford guy, and that,
Yeah,
that's
like
me
I said,
pointing at
Marty
the
Stinton, he's a name that you hear. You've heard it
Yeah.
for years, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he came down, and there was a couple. There
I
was a couple
remember
big
he-
hitters.
I remember meeting him when he crashed his car in Georgia,
His small block.
his small block car, and so then they were selling shirts
Walk
to make money
Oh,
to
to raise-
to
yeah.
build the new car. So I had one of his shirts
Ah.
that I bought from that, so I still have it.
You contributed to his new. To his
I
new car.
did, I did, and that second, and just to say that second round win,
Yeah.
a lot of people lost money on the starting line. A lot.
That's always
of
good.
People lost money
That's
on the
always
starting.
good.
Wow.
I watched
So-
the video and
So
I'm
they're-
like,
they're-
damn,
they're-
y'all.
They were betting against you. They were betting against you.
Yeah.
So you got the win, which is
Well, because a lot of people never seen me
of
before.
course. Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
You know,
That's good. You're.
and I'm an underdog, and that's all right.
It's always good, and that's not necessarily saying that anybody's slow in particular, but it's always good when you are an underdog and you win.
Yes,
Or
sir.
even better when you win the race.
Yeah.
It's a better way.
Yeah.
But you know, but you know, you got to go. Everybody's racing. Race is a race. Anything can happen in a race.
Yeah.
Red
Mm-hmm.
light, blow the tires, and so you just got to focus on your race like you do.
You do what you got,
Do
what you're
gotta
supposed to
What
do.
you're supposed to do, and if you kill it on a tree or whatever, then it's even better.
Now, do you guys
it's
sometimes
icing on
have
the
money
cake.
right on the line? Do y'all bet?
No,
Even though you're
third- not-
driving,
I'm
do you do
not
that?
third round.
We'll get to that. Well, it's just right now we're still learning we haven't really grass
Yeah.
raced a whole lot, so
Yeah.
the whole world's a little different to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You know,
it's a different ball game.
One, I don't have a bunch of extra money. I'm a
Yeah.
working class racing guy.
That's
I
true.
I ain't got $100 bills sitting in my pocket.
Because that's what this whole that's what this whole no prep thing has all been. You got the racers, and then there's the ones that end up making money on these bets. You know,
no prep and
It's a
and
gambling.
prep no time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Well,
you
yeah,
know-
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
You don't know.
That's all. They're all.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. out
it's a
there.
gambling
Yeah,
event.
yeah.
That's basically you either you know how to gamble or you know the cars very well. Because I can tell you, there's a few guys that know every single car that goes to these
Oh,
events.
let me tell you.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't
I got
keep track of all the
advice.
cars. I don't bet. So
They were giving me advice on what I was doing wrong.
really,
Oh yeah. I just said, okay, thanks. Thanks for your- thanks for your
That's
input.
even funny because
Keyboard warriors.
I know.
I find that funny because for one, they think you don't. I say
Yeah.
they appear to believe that they know everybody and they know everything, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. That is a different world. I mean,
It
not
is,
knowing
yeah.
that they know your
Right.
background and your background, how so.
But I just
that's
laughed.
funny.
I just laughed about
That's
it.
good. You're sportsman
Yeah.
about it. You can say,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
sometimes I wonder if they're trying to get into your head
They are.
to
I-
make-
You know
Oh,
what?
they do.
Dude.
Oh, when there were some of those games,
That
in the
is-
staging
that-
lanes.
That's
Yeah.
that's right.
So
That's,
it's just a different world. We just got to learn to get used to all the.
Yeah,
People are going to try and
yes.
fuck with you and try to get you riled up or try and
Yeah.
say, well, how
That's
much
what
money
they're
you
doing,
want to
they're trying to
bet?
get
or
in
what,
yeah.
you know.
Right. That's why we here with this podcast. I'm real observant, and I'll ask, and I'll even throw the questions out there that nobody thinks.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to these events, there's guys just standing there that's it. They're just there to gamble. They don't have a car. They don't have anything. They studied every single guy that's there, and then that's where they put their money. And usually they do pretty good. I mean, I've seen some stacks come back,
Yeah,
and I'm
there's-
like, wow, man, these
Yeah.
dudes know how to do it. I'd probably lose, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know half of the cars. You know, well, I bet on Buck. This is Buck, my buddy. I'm like, damn it, I'm losing money, man.
The thing that gets you is that they throw some bullshit jargon at you, like,
It does.
hey, I'm gonna cover your 20, blah 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 blah, blah
Yeah.
real fast. I'm like,
So you-
okay, and then they get you.
Yeah, you lost me.
You lost me. What the fuck? I don't know what I'm doing. They do that shit.
yeah.
They're like, blah, 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 blah.
What was it? What did they say when Jay's the bother? He shakes your hand and you screwed up and you didn't pay attention what he told you.
I
He
know.
comes back collecting for some shit and you're like, huh?
He sounds like he's like those auctioneer guys.
Ah, dude, I got 3, I got 400. I'm like, I don't know.
What?
Ooh, how many? How do you keep track of the
Yeah.
8 people you just betted on? And you know, somebody's got to be taking notes. This fool just
Yeah, I
take a
know.
bet on that.
Yeah, they gotta
We're
do
gonna
it.
walk off to the
The little bookie guy in the back, okay,
Right.
they're writing it all down. Shit. Yeah,
It's an operation, man.
Yeah.
But you know, his events when he comes over to Little River, I mean, I already realized that he's putting on an event with a show in mind, and he's catering to everybody who's going to show up. You know, and he carries the same concept to another track, but somebody else comes over and it's not like that. You know, it's you're like, what's the difference between what he's doing and what this other guy's doing?
Yeah.
But how come he always walks away with a stack of
Money,
you know? And
yeah.
I'm like, man, this is just it's a gambling.
Yeah,
it's a gambling.
it's
But
fun.
anyway, but it's fun for those guys who actually. You guys who are going in there just to have some fun and some racing,
Right.
and hopefully win a pot. You know, hey, shoot, that's
That's even better.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we got to test on a really good surface, and
That's
you know,
true.
I mean, we came back for third round, and of course we looked at the ladder, and you know, they did chip draw and put us on a ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So if we would have got past third round, we would have had Marty Stinnett.
No.
So we were gearing up for
Yeah.
that, and I raced Crook,
Ty Crook, yeah.
Ty Crook,
Crook.
the young
Around
kid.
the-
Around
Yeah.
the white
The young
Transit
kid.
with the big block in it.
Yeah, and you know, I mean,
They made it down, we did.
they made it down. We didn't. I mean,
It
we
happens.
spun, and you know, and
Yeah, we tried to hop it up a
and
little
but
bit.
I tell you what, I was 0-15 on that tree.
Ah, you
I
got 'em-
wanted it bad.
You got them
so-
all right.
Yeah.
Just
Well, you
play
know,
the
the
game.
crooks, you know, they got a lot of data. They got multiple
yeah.
cars. They
Oh, they
run
do.
the crap
They
out their
do.
cars.
And
I mean,
I
they
talked to him at the end, and
Yeah.
you know, he's a really respectful young man,
Good,
and
yeah,
you
that's
know,
good.
we were just talking about testing and stuff, and he's like, yeah, they were testing. I said, well,
Yeah.
you know, we just got our motor back in on Thursday night, and he went, what? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So,
We're
I mean,
And
learning.
he was like, well, you did pretty good.
yeah,
Then.
like I
was
said,
like,
you know, keep your heads up. Like I said, when you guys plan to go back out? I mean, with your car,
Cinco de Mayo.
May 5th. That's the extra P, right?
Yeah.
Extra P.
Yeah.
What event is that going to be? Is that going to be a no time?
It's a no time
No time.
deal. It's like grudge racing, and they have a 28. Anything
They're
under
gonna have
28
classes
race.
for like a street class. They're gonna have a street class there.
I
I'm
think
sure
so.
they do.
I,
Yeah.
I haven't really paid attention
We
to
haven't
what's
looked at
there.
all of the classes. We were kind of just checking to see if we could test my car
Dude,
there.
Cinco de Mayo's like next.
Dude, it's not
two-
that
two
far
weeks.
away.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll be back out there trying it again.
Well, good. Y'all gonna do any testing before?
No, that's our test session.
Go out
I
there
mean,
Friday.
we can't really go anywhere. You know, we have
Yeah,
to drive
no.
all the way up there to
No,
test
no, yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, yeah, if you want to get a good lay some power down and get, you got
Yeah.
that's where you gotta go. Right. So yeah.
And we're-
Either that or
Yeah.
rent a track with
But you
blues.
still got to rent something down that way.
And we still got to drive
money.
4 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So,
Yeah.
so go out there early and get some testing, or maybe go out there Thursday and pitch in with somebody.
It'll probably be Friday. But
We
you
all
know,
wet.
that's yeah.
we all work right.
Yeah.
now, so.
But you know, I wanted to have Chris talk a little bit about our little street car.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
We wanted to just see
Yeah.
what
That's
you
the
had
fun
done.
one.
We wanted to see what you had done with your car
From the
since you
last
last
time,
spoke.
yeah.
And you definitely did it. You got in there and
Yeah, y'all crunched,
you
y'all
know,
got done.
a whole different
And-
combination,
And-
but you did it.
And
Hold
let me
your
tell you,
heads
that's
up,
not
right,
the
and-
end.
yeah.
That's
No,
not the end of
yeah.
her either. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll run it as best as we can this year, and then we got more changes in
And are you
store
now,
for next year.
now? Does this motor have more or less potential than your original fast time slips that you were running
More.
more than 2 years ago? It's got more in it.
Then-
Yeah.
So-
It's got more of everything.
Okay, so you're hoping eventually to get to its running, all
We'll
glory.
just say considerably faster.
Considerably faster, and we're
And you took some
You know,
weight out too. I remember
we took
that-
all that extra weight out that we had
that's
in
what
there.
we talked about last
It's
time.
like
I saw your doors, man. They're just not even. There's no window roll up. There's nothing on
Yeah,
that
you
car,
gotta say
man.
no,
the
they're carbon fiber.
Yeah, it's carbon fiber.
Yeah.
That I
But
saw.
that car's got
Damn,
factory
boy.
floors.
Yeah, those are gonna come out though.
Yeah, really. Well,
Yeah,
Factory firewall, factory-
yeah.
Yeah.
We're good, since we don't have to meet cost rules anymore.
Yeah.
We can do some more modifications that we couldn't before, and add some more bars
That's true.
on the bottom, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to
Make it a
you
little
know,
safer.
Gotta be safety in mind too. I
I
mean,
mean, because
you-
we're gonna go as fast as we can.
So you're gonna take out the floor and
The floor pans and probably
Yeah,
the
yeah.
transmission tunnel.
So it's basically from the firewall.
We didn't want to,
Right.
and we held off for doing it for so long.
Yeah.
But you know, I've got some really nice carbon work in the back,
Yeah.
and
We'll have another passenger
yeah,
side now, too.
and we will too. And that's
That's
thanks to Greg Hubble.
Yeah.
Greg Hubble.
Greg Hubble
Good
Race
shout out to
Cars.
Greg Hubble, Race Car San Antonio, right?
Yes, he does all of our stuff.
Yeah, well, but that's the name of the game. That's where the most cars are at today. You can't get
Yeah,
away with
you
the
gotta-
back
it's-
half car and
it's-
those small tire. You can't. You look at them, you open the door, and you're like, damn. It's just the car was put on a chassis. It was completely shelled, gutted.
You got
and
to. That's what
fresh.
you gotta do now to go fast. I mean,
It looks like a front end is there, but you look
Well-
underneath, man, and it's all
Yeah.
I mean, I have all my fenders are metal.
Yeah.
Those are stock.
Yeah,
None of that is like
yeah.
everybody has like carbon front ends
That's
and
true.
stuff. No,
Oh, you still have your stock front end. Wow. Okay, I thought you
And
were
it
doing
comes
like
off.
quarter
It's a
panel.
set of doors away
Yeah,
from being all still on glass.
it really is.
Wow.
I mean, because they allow the Lexan in the
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
front and the rear, I'd have to get side windows and
Well, you
put
could
my
go- Put steel.
But I don't want to do that.
You got a plan put in place. So
Yeah.
looking forward, of course, the rest of the year, next year, big things. Of course, we'll touch base here. when
We're gonna
done.
totally switch gears for next year, so it'll be
We'll-
more stuff.
This is
So-
a car to watch out for,
Yeah,
man.
we'll-
This
we'll-
is another one.
We'll wait for
from the
another episode
5112.
to discuss that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the next year we're
Yeah,
gonna get
yeah.
ready.
What, okay,
Yeah.
before we end that, so how far before you guys do those changes to your car?
We'll
What's the
run
time
it-
frame? What are we
Rest of
looking
the
at?
year, you're gonna run the rest of the year.
We'll run it the rest of this year, and then we'll have our new stuff getting
Hopefully for next year.
hopefully
And
getting.
y'all are going based on what y'all are seeing at the tracks right now, the cars,
Well,
what they're doing.
It's just what we need to do to make our processes flow better.
Right.
With 3 cars
Yeah,
and
yeah. You
4
gotta be
people,
efficient.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we're running ragged.
Yeah.
That's true.
When you can only make so much power with a single kit
Exactly.
block, so
Exactly. And doesn't mean that it'll always
Gotta
be
do
just a
something.
single kit this year.
Dun,
Dun
dun.
dun.
Okay, well, I feel being that talk with Chris is pro charge, so
So let's rewind back. We're gonna
Yeah.
go back to
We
January.
got 2 pro chargers.
Yeah.
oh,
So we're
Yeah.
gonna rewind back.
You're a pro charge. I thought you
Yeah,
were
he's
a
pro charge. No, he's pro charge.
nice pro charger now.
Okay.
So we're gonna rewind back to when you first brought your car out this year, and where were you at last year with this car
Yeah.
when we last talked?
Well, I mean,
we
you
bought
only
it.
bought the
You-
car
yeah,
6
In
months
August.
ago.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
bought it in August.
Yeah, so when we spoke, like you guys had literally like I don't even know if you had like an actual seen or spotted out. It was still kind of not
Just
discussed.
bone stock.
Yeah.
I took it out bone stock just to play with it,
Yeah.
and then but after we bought it, we already had the Pro Charger kit for it. It came in 2 weeks later.
Yeah, we had paper tags
So
on
that
it.
was-
Now, for those listening here that have or maybe seen the car but don't know what year, model, kind of car.
2014 Mustang GT with the automatic. Just
What color?
it's white.
The white one.
Yeah,
okay.
the white one.
So
It's
you run
total
okay.
sleeper.
Got it.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, it sounded like stock with the muff. I mean,
Still
it's
stock muffler.
yeah.
It has
Mhm.
headers with cats, but they're small cats, and the rest is all stock still. We wanted to keep it
Yeah,
as streetable
stock, yeah.
sounding and as possible.
and it does.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
got
the
all-
one. And that's the one that you took on. No prep, top end, and Mexico.
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 Okay.
Yeah, that's-
You in the seat or?
No,
Oh,
me.
Chris? Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris.
I've been in it for the most of it.
Okay.
Stevie's taken it a couple times out.
Oh, okay.
Just playing around with it, but for the no prep and stuff, it's in my hands because if I crash it, it's on me. Which I've already rubbed the wall once, so that's
Oh,
On
that was,
top
Trying-
end on radio.
yeah.
On that car? In that
Yeah,
car?
in that
Wow,
car.
man.
you scraped this. Oh, I think I was at that race. I think that.
Yeah, I came right
you,
through the guardrail.
We were
Oh,
trying
you
to.
scraped it up, but you drove it. I mean, it didn't.
Oh yeah, I just barely scraped it.
Scraped
Didn't even
it.
dent it. Just took a little stripe on both fenders.
Gives it
forward.
character. Gives
Well,
it some
that
character.
car's so heavy, and
Been
when
there.
the power does hit, it just changes.
Yeah.
There's
That-
nothing he could do.
So what drag race were you running on that car? What size?
They're
The
the 275.
275? You put it on
60s.
275?
Yeah.
Okay. Standard, I guess, the center tire.
Yeah.
Car's all on 28.
That power, that Pro Charger, when power comes in, it comes in and there's not much stopping it. And I was a little too overzealous. I shouldn't have got back in it after it was spinning. But when you see the guy running in next to you, you just
it's
try.
It's reaction. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
you
it's
can't really
action.
stop yourself when your
foot's
you
not
still see
listening.
him.
I do tell them, I'm like, next time I do something stupid, remember this.
Right.
But like I said, it's a natural reaction, especially when you're racing and your eliminations are.
Yeah.
In this case, it was.
You
it
get
was
all.
full. Yeah, you're ready. You want to
You're
win.
competitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so It happens. So hopefully, when you do decide to get back into it, when you're loose to it, you kind of got in the back of your mind. Okay, I know the power of this Pro Charger, right? So and of course.
It's much
You're gonna-
more
you're gonna-
drivable on slicks, so
Yeah,
it'll stay on
slicks.
slicks for no prep and top end.
So
yeah,
I mean,
it's-
I favor. I know you could drive. You guys have been driving for a long time, so it's just a matter of this top end. It's a different.
It's a different
it's
animal.
It's different. So
Yeah.
I mean, so anybody, it can happen to anybody basically. So.
How did y'all, so the guy who's actually working with you to straighten you up or even help you out, because it's top end, how are y'all dealing with the fence, man? Because it's not too easy to, I mean, either you stay on the inside of the track or you stay on this side of the guardrail, trying to help out. So that's one thing that I noticed a lot of people who get into that top end, they don't take account for that, and they're like, oh crap, you got to jump in or to try and help you, line you up, whatever the case is. So how does that whole procedure go for you guys?
You go down with.
How did you
cars,
adapt? How did you adapt?
That's not too much
Yeah.
different. I mean, you just got to climb over the guardrail versus
Yeah.
walking
Right.
around the end, but
Well,
there's really not that much
They
difference.
put little step stools out there the last time for me, so because I got little short legs. I had to go all the way down to the end, and I was like, oh god, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they put little step stools.
But so like let's say for example, so I mean I've been to the races, and let's
Right.
kind of like share people who are in the podcast land that may or may not know or familiar with the area. But at this track, on the top end, it's from like 8th mile, right?
8th mile long.
8th mile. What's the pad like? I know it's.
It's concrete.
I mean, it's concrete.
They
'cause
put
I know they did a little pad.
They put a burnout box, which
Okay.
is concrete, because they
Okay.
were tearing up the asphalt,
Right.
but you still launch on asphalt.
Okay. So
And
how
actually
do you
it's
find a
pretty good.
groove? I mean, is there a groove there? I mean, is it anything?
Well, it's water burnout only at
There
the
you
top
go.
end deals,
Right.
which is fine.
Yeah.
But actually, I mean, it's still we get a pretty good groove going
Groove.
if people follow the next guy.
Put some
which-
rubber
They
down.
repaved the top end last year, I believe, and it's working pretty
Better?
well. Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's actually pretty nice to run on. And you do
That's
get pretty good traction for the no prep scuff.
So they run from the 8th mile to basically quarter mile, basically. Is that
Right,
Is that right?
to the end, yeah. And then immediately you're already at the turn.
Yeah. So people aren't familiar with Little River Dragway in Academy, Texas. It's old Highway 95. It's actually a whole lot. So
Right.
So some of the crown is still there, but I mean, it's still fast track. Everybody who's ran there, it's still a good fast track, and it hooks
Yeah.
if you're running from like a start line down. But so
I've had some of the old school dudes ask, how the hell are you guys stopping on the top end? Because that track always got a bad rap for running quarter mile and
There
then
was
not
a
being
turn at
able
the end.
and not being able to stop.
Yeah.
So for those who listen to the show, how bad is it, or how is it even noticeable?
It's not
the
bad
top
at
end?
105, but a lot of the small tire guys, they're doing 120, 130, and I imagine
they might have.
They're
a
putting the
lot of
brakes.
them are pulling their chutes. If they're not, they're definitely on the brakes hard, because it does come up on you.
It's just like the quarter mile. Running the quarter mile, it's just because
Yeah.
you're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It really isn't.
But that's good to know. I mean, obviously, we see all the cars, small tire guys, they're making licks.
Yeah.
The guys that got the draggies, I guess they shared. If they're doing 130,
Yeah.
120, 130, I mean, they're hauling the mill.
Yeah.
And that turn is right. It's right there.
It's
so
there,
from,
yeah.
especially from that distance where you're starting from. So no accidents, which is good. I mean, so that.
I can't even tell. Do y'all turn at the end?
Yeah,
There's
you gotta
no
go.
choice.
You gotta take.
You got
You got
to.
to
you
take
take
the whole
yeah,
turn.
you have
gotta
to.
take the whole turn. Yeah, because at literally there's two turns. There's
Yeah.
one that's kind of right before you actually make a turn, and you make the full turn. And there's another one. So.
I don't think I've ever taken that first turn.
No, yeah.
That's reserved for them drum brake cars from back in the day, man.
Yeah.
You were drum brake at one point too.
When I was bracket racing.
When I ran that, when I ran my old pickup, the 055, it had drum brakes, and I think at one time it only had like one brake because the front brake, the right front brake, the brake hose was clogged up, and I had like both my axle seals were leaking.
Don't tell people.
I was only running like 14 or 15
Yeah.
20 miles, so I was like, whoa. But yeah, it's drum brakes.
They're like Bugs Bunny holding that axle, you know.
You're like doing the Fred Flintstone.
Get the pucker effect going. But I mean, even when guys ran quarter mile, I think the quarter mile record there is like 750 or 170 or
could
something.
not imagine going
I
that
could
fast.
not imagine doing that.
I think it was Atomic Dog or somebody. But I don't know. I could be wrong, but anybody correct us. But yeah, they made it fine. So I mean, it's obviously a light car.
There was some. I
Light
remember
car
some
parachutes. You know, so
There were some guys from back in the day that they were running like the low 9s. They had potential to run 8s, and I go over there and they're assembling the big block to go for that weekend, and I'm like looking at the car. I'm like, "You got drum brakes like my car?" They're like, "Yeah, it's freewheel. You go faster." I'm like, "God damn though, man! Just you're really hauling ass and you got drum brake though, man. It's freewheel." And I'm like, "Well, I guess I'll keep my drum brakes." I'm like, I'm a dummy, man. Like, whew.
I got the nice brakes. I got those.
Yeah, no,
TBMs,
yeah. You know,
those are badass.
I like the aerospace.
No, the
We ran
TBMs.
aerospace. TBMs are awesome.
TBMs are the. I mean, you could just spin them things; they'll spin to the next day. I mean,
They're real low
lightweight.
drag.
they're
And they
lightweight.
stop too. I mean, you know, they
Yeah, if you
stop.
want to get on them, you can get on them.
Yeah.
They'll
Mhm.
bite, for sure.
Do they have? I don't know, but the cost of those. Do you get like free brake pads and rotors, or is it like not included?
No.
That's like,
Not included.
right?
Yeah,
There's
not-
nothing free out there.
Not for the Katos, you know, maybe
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
Well,
Kenny Hubbard or something probably gets them free, but you
I
know.
would say, man, for what they cost, like, man, at least a complimentary pair. Or
well, the
something.
good thing is they are part of Motion now, so the customer
Motion.
service is crazy good.
That's good. Hey, man, I'll,
Like, I mean,
if I win a Texas two-step with that, that's what I get.
All right,
Scratch off Texas two-step. Anyway, okay, cool. So, Chris, what's the plans for your car? I mean, obviously you're doing great in it, right? It's the potential's there.
Oh yeah.
Are you planning to run some more top end? Anything else?
Yeah,
Indexing?
it's gonna stay the way it is for the most part. We're not gonna do anything too crazy to it. It's running real good for the 7.0
Right,
class, which
right.
is
For
more
now.
than enough for what we're doing. We've already
Gotcha.
we built the other car for the 650 class, so
Yeah.
we'll keep that one going,
okay.
and then
Man, y'all gonna have stuff, hands in anything.
Oh man, they got an entry for every single
well, if
night.
it's there, why not do it? That's
Yeah.
the thing. We have the car. There was a good race to run, and then we hadn't had that in a while, so it was kind of like, let's go ahead and throw it together, and
Man, yeah.
it's working out good. Nick's really wanting to get back into racing, so we've got a
Got another
full
car for him.
crew. We got a full team with 4
Okay.
cars, and
Man.
we're gonna keep stepping on it and
we're get in where we fit in. That's the whole,
And just have fun again.
that's
Yeah.
the whole plan
You know?
of this year.
That's
So does
what
that
it
one
is.
have air conditioning in it still?
the white car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
It has a toll tag on
It's
it.
got full.
Yeah.
It's got full.
If you want to deal with the
does.
rough
So after he works on y'all car, y'all let him
suspension,
take in that car so he can cruise
Well,
and
if
relax.
you put some radials back
Yeah.
on it,
You could drive
I
that
could
car
drive around
anywhere.
town. You
Yeah.
just got to watch Build and Boost on
That's
on
true.
those- Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to become a Mustang.
But that
demon.
blow off.
It's
yeah.
real easy. I almost
You
Yeah.
could open the
He
whole
almost
time.
did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That blow off valve is
What's
so
that?
loud though.
Oh my god.
What's still stock rear end, stock transmission, stock engine.
See that's what that was fun. That's fun.
It's
Yeah.
all bolt on so far. There's nothing that we've done that isn't available to anybody, and it is. It's
It's
fun.
not-
You drive it down, you make a pass, you park it, you go watch,
Yeah.
I
and
know
then
that.
the next round comes
You
up
have
and
to
you
do
get
that.
back
See,
in it. and
we
you do
like
it
hearing
again.
those kind of stories where guys actually have a lot of fun. Because we sat Biddle down, and he also talked. We asked him about his little street car.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's all. I mean, I looked at it. I'm like, damn, this is like a grandma's car, you know.
Yeah.
But,
But it
yeah,
works.
He
It
the
works.
car's running. He had a what do you say, a
Oh,
4-lady in it, and
Yeah, he
you know,
put-
nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's a street car. He says he cruises around, goes to eat lunch or dinner, whatever. So I mean, that's fun. I mean, that's the way it was back, one time, get in and drive, have fun.
Well, I'd drive my car, race it, and drive back home. Pick up the kids from school in it. You know?
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what was.
I mean, if we wanted to go out to the store, if we needed ice,
Yeah.
we could take that. We don't need to
that's
unhook.
cool.
We could just take it out and come right back in.
Well,
Get some kid out
thing,
there.
The big thing for us for this year was
That's a mom.
getting us some cars that were, we could throw them on an open trailer,
Right.
go to Little River, race, and go home.
Yeah.
We don't have to get. It's nice running the really fast cars, but
Yeah.
it's a week-long ordeal, really.
Right, right.
You
No,
gotta get everything loaded, get nitrous bottles filled, and all that.
And not to say like, and I'm with you, like not to say like, hey, you're gonna get out of a fast car.
Oh, no.
It's just a matter of you take a break. You can always go enjoy it with them.
And I like being crew
Right. Yeah.
That's cool.
for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I like watching them and having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get to have fun too. I'm not
Yeah.
the only one that should be having fun.
That's a good point. And I think we mentioned it before, but like I said, when you start looking at like big races, like they're spread out. You figure you got good, like maybe 6 good races a year, which is perfect in
Yeah.
most cases.
Yeah.
So you're not always thrashing. I don't know if the X275 that's kind of they still have it, but I don't know if it's kind of peeled down somewhat.
How about
East
the
Coast.
duck? What's
They-
Well, not Doug, but like here in Texas, like
Oh,
the
okay.
Texas 275, like it's.
They ran.
I know they ran this last weekend.
Yeah.
I think in XRP. I don't know the turnout, but
Oh, that was Texas 275.
Texas 275, yeah, Texas
That
275.
that whole class, that's what I was running
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
and that was Ultimate Street Rules.
Right.
And now they've changed it, so they put a smaller jet, but there's no cubic inch limit.
So yeah, they open the door for anybody.
So
Yeah.
for those who listen, what were the rules on the Ultimate Street Rules?
Of
The Ultimate Street Rules
Yeah.
were like we had to
Ultra Street.
Ultra Street, sorry. So
Oh yeah, you have to have. Was it like a cap, like a jet?
Well, there's
minimum
like
Yeah.
a 40,
weight.
like a 46 jet, or like a
125 or something.
125 or 130 or
Yeah.
something like that.
and you had to weigh, I think we had to weigh like 3,200 pounds, and so we had to add like at the beginning of the season like 400 pounds to the car. I mean, we had weight everywhere.
Right.
And then I guess we stayed with the smaller jet. They allowed a bigger jet, and we stayed with the smaller jet and took off 100 pounds. But even so, all that weight that we put on there, that's all what came off this year.
Oh, I see.
And it's like the chassis just breathed a sigh of relief.
Yeah, man.
It's at the car just
Yeah.
went, oh,
Yeah.
That's 400 pounds. That's like
yeah.
That's a lot. I
Damn.
mean, and then it costs just as much as taking off weight as it is adding horsepower. I mean,
Yeah.
people going to die, man. Or cars going to die. That's like it ain't. It's like 1,000 for every whatever 100. I mean, the same thing when you go look at cubic inch or horsepower, right? So
It's more like 5,000 for every 100 when you get to the level that we're at. The car's
I'm with
already as light as it pretty much
particularly when you
can
start getting
be.
carbon, right? When you
Yeah,
get
you're
into the carbon
carbon,
stuff.
carbon,
yeah, that's,
and it's not easy to get light.
yeah. So
So
I'm with you on that. So being that if you can go light and then be unlimited, I guess on horsepower cubic inch, then that's where you're going. I mean, that's and it makes sense. That's what everybody's doing.
Well,
I mean,
we're already in left field with the limited jet stuff
Yeah.
anyway, and we were basically gonna have to start from scratch. And then they threw a curveball
Well,
of throwing even smaller jet.
And we
were like,
had a
okay.
plan. We had a plan when we hurt the piston in June. We had a plan to go ahead and do what all the heavy hitters were doing, and we were ready to go. We were ready to go 50s in that class.
Yeah.
And then they changed it, and I was like, well, okay, now what are we gonna do? I just got tired of tired of rule changes
we
all the
talked
time.
about it. Like the changes were
Yeah.
like almost like NHRA. They like bam, bam, bam.
And I'm like, you know what? If the only rule that I have to obey is 28-inch tire,
right.
That's it. Yeah. That's,
I'm there.
That's pretty
I'm
much
good.
it. Yeah.
I can
that's
adjust for that,
Uh-huh, yeah.
but you don't have to adjust.
4-car on the 28-inch
Yeah,
tire.
Well,
Yeah.
that's like I said. All the guys who are running like the all steel, all glass. Like we talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are flying.
Oh yeah, there.
There's
So
about to be a lot of
yeah.
purpose-built all steel.
Oh yeah, there's
I
a
know.
couple come that are in
Yeah.
the works that
Yeah,
are.
we
They're gonna
saw
stir
some
the
of it.
pot
I'm
for
like,
sure.
man, that's
Yeah, those are like
They're fast already.
They're fast already.
It's about to get ridiculous.
so. When that class came about, it's like and like they're maybe like in the 60s, 50s now. I mean, they're
Yeah.
Yeah, so
On a little bitty tire, and it's like a 15 by 12. Has anybody even tried a 15 by 14? I mean, hell, it's already they're getting there, right? It's like they're
No, they've
showing
already
people how to
done
do it.
Well, do they allow?
Yeah.
Do they allow a tube chassis car in all
A
steel
lot of
class?
them do.
There's
We
no
already
rules.
have one ready for
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Just pop your shell
all
on it,
steel all glass?
put the little tires, and you get to go. You know? Yeah.
Sorry, Mike,
Yeah.
you can take out that last part.
Stephen's like,
He's like, shut up, Mom.
Did he say that? You mean stock chassis?
no, like, so, I mean,
I got tubes.
the beautiful thing about, well, I say the beautiful thing, is that when you start getting into the no time stuff, it's like, it morphed into like a bunch of fast cars.
Well,
And like I said, I mean, I respect it because it gets a class for some of us to get in, and then when you start to get into it, it's like, man, it's like blowing wide open, like,
yeah.
all right, fuck, what
It
am I-
happens
problem-
every single time.
the
it
problem is
happens.
that-
Every class
Every class
You have
Yeah.
to start something else.
Yeah,
The problem is that everybody that builds a car, let's look at it in the last 5-6 years. Every time you see an event over the last 5 years, the cars will always adapt within like 6 months, and
they're
you're
breaking
going
records.
you're going another half a second faster, and then all of a sudden somebody complains or the class just dies out because nobody can come in, and so somebody comes up with another set of rules, and then like what I've seen lately is the drag radial car, but it's a full tube chassis, aluminum floors or carbon fiber. You look at it on the outside, it looks completely stock, but it's pretty much pro
It's a
stock.
purpose race.
Pretty much that's what I'm racing with right now.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You get there, and then until somebody comes up with until that gets crammed up and dies out, and then somebody starts with, let's do something else, and who knows what the next thing's gonna be, no more 4-link. I don't know what they're gonna do, because right now everybody's 4-linking every damn.
But they got
Small tires, they stock
the Tin
suspension.
Soldier.
Yeah,
they
stock
got
suspension.
the stock speed, but
Yeah.
Tin Soldier. They came out with like an uneven 4-link.
Oh yeah, the low prep.
The low, I mean that works. I mean,
Yeah.
that's proven. So that's the thing, but it's still 4-bar. I mean, when
Yeah.
it comes down to it. But I mean, it's
for
different.
4-link, yeah.
It's different. It's almost, if you think about it, it's almost like a stock suspension in a way. I mean, you still got the trailer arm
Yeah.
stuff for like 3rd gens and
Yeah.
4th gens that are working.
Yeah, it's
That
supposed
work.
to mimic the anti-squat you can get with the
Yeah.
Fox body. The real short
Right.
up arm.
Exactly. That's kind of what it's
Yeah.
mimicking. So it's semi stock suspension, but it's not. But
It's
anyway,
purpose-built.
like the evolution of just that has come like a long way. No prep. You look at the. I don't make fun of it, but it's just funny when you see a car hiked up, nose up in the air, and squatting in the ass. And
It just reminds you of a gasser.
That's the way they say it. We've said that.
Yeah, that's what we
it's,
said that. Yeah,
you might as well bring it. I thought I
Yeah.
saw this maybe the last few days.
Old school gasser would run good on a no prep.
Well, I was
Sorry,
looking at
transferred.
one of these cars. I'm not going to say what it is, but there is a car that runs really fast in those gasser. And I'm talking about this car has a lot of power, right? And he posted a photo. He's putting he said small tire. We're going no prep racing. I'm like, let's see how that dude's, because he's one of the big competitors. But if they really did let him out to go do some no prep, that's going to be interesting to see that 4-speed car in that top end, because basically these cars today are doing basically what what those guys are. Like Santos' car, if you look at his car, it's a chassis car. It weighs like 2,800 pounds. It's a small block, but it's got decent power. But he has it down to a T with the shocks. He's Santos, right?
Yeah.
So he can shift gears all day long going down Little River, and his car's not doing. I mean, it's just like old school Lenco, type shifting. So if one of those cars was to go to no prep, I really would like to sit there and watch it, because it's going to
That
be
would
fun.
be fun.
Fun to see that thing.
Yeah.
You would think gasser, straight axle, real high, but no, these cars are actually pretty decent the way they build them.
But I mean, if you watch a lot of them, that's exactly what they look like.
Yeah.
Because it's got that big squat in the
And
back
that huge
the
rise.
extension in the front. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the size of the shock that they're running? Like
They got like some of those extension on some of their like 9, 10. I mean, they
9
travel
inches,
like
yeah.
crazy. I mean, it's like a full Baja off road.
I know there's one. I saw the
they got
shops.
those big old.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw one of those. They're actually like rubbing the back bumper, man, as they're going down the street, and you're like, damn, man.
And like I said to me, I'm not saying
You
it's
raising
funny,
it?
but I mean, it's just like, how do you have the front wheels making any contact and you're driving it? How do you have control of it? They do, I guess. So I mean, I don't know.
I've
Well,
seen it.
I mean, it's like skimming your front tires.
Yeah,
So
just
the
barely
back tires
skim.
are driving you.
Yeah, that's what
You
it
just
is.
got to keep it straight.
Semi-straight.
The Kraken's been real fast.
Oh,
on the
that's-
top end deal.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
front ends and
Well,
the
that's what I'm
front end
saying.
in the air still.
Yeah, I know. That was
That
the
dude's
one I'm
nuts.
talking about.
Yeah.
They fly, right? I mean, he hauls butt.
Since they commented, I saw a post where I don't know who one of the video camera promoters they did a little front end action where you see that car and Chris's Camaro and
Chris.
that freaking
WFO.
yeah, the purple car is like going. I mean, tires are barely touching, right? And Chris, he loves that old school. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I bet if the traction device came off, it'd be a whole different thing." It irritated him. I was laughing because I mean, it's that's the ball game today.
That's Chris.
He's determined to do it the old school.
He
Well,
can make it work.
Yeah,
He
he's
can make
making
it
it
work.
work.
He can
Yeah.
make
Some
it work.
people have hard heads like we do. We're sticking with the Ford stuff, so.
Hey, it works. Y'all guys know it. I mean, you guys are flying. I mean, stick with it. Stick with what works. Your car. So, your car was already running before the roundup, correct, Stephen?
A little bit.
Little bit.
So you like physically worked on it, like on the way up there. And tried
Well,
to
I
reach
mean,
it?
really, so we just got a wild hair, I don't know, probably a couple months ago. We have my big block, and it's a little too fast and a little too slow.
The year, make, model of your car. Which one are we talking
It's
about?
Yeah.
blue 82 Fox body 4i.
It's
it has
called. They call it
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
Yeah.
So I remember that name, guys. Next time you see the car, Papa Smurf.
About 24
Going
different
down.
colors right now, but poor thing's had a rough
I thought it was
life.
blue, but
He's driving ugly.
Some of it's
That's
blue.
all right.
No, so after we wrecked it, the car's been down for a little bit, doing some
Yeah.
upgrades, fixing the body damage and all that fun stuff. And we had the big block sitting there, talking about trying to schedule an appointment, get some headers built for it, and
Oh my God.
hemming it on. And it's really been too fast to do local stuff, and I don't really want to keep beating on it. So we're like, well,
in Mexico or top end track?
no, I mean that
You're
was
doing-
really just a prep deal. I mean it ran
Yeah.
X275, Texas 275. I don't know,
8.5
about
inch tires.
about 6 different small tire classes.
Okay.
Ran the
Yeah.
Rumble and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
And it just never really fully fit in. Just setup was fast, but it was a little too fast for some stuff and not fast enough for others. And then we were sitting around, and that's about the time we were getting the white car together. And we're like, man, we just need to put like a Coyote in this thing or something.
Yeah.
And we started talking about that, and Chris had a 5.4 in the corner of the shop that's been sitting there for a while, a little stock bottom end Navigator motor we had put together forever ago
Yeah.
with a Pro Charger. And we was like, man, we already got the parts for that. Let's just put that in there.
Yeah.
Which sounded a lot easier than it ended up working out. Because it wasn't in there with motor plates.
Yeah,
we had to
yeah,
use motor
yeah.
plates, and then I had to build
Headers.
I had to build headers and
Yeah.
redo a bunch of other stuff. But we finally got it in there and got it running. And had a problem with the motor, stock bottom end, decided the bearings didn't want to be part of it anymore.
Oh no.
So I'm rolling bearings in it on my garage floor at the house about 2 weeks before the Texas Radio Roundup.
Oh, okay.
Got it running again, no testing. I mean, really, it made 2 passes probably 10 years ago when we first got it together in the other car, and that's as far as that went.
Yeah, it was in the yellow car
Is that right?
before,
Oh, okay.
and Chris ran it at Pink's All Out.
But that
in
was
San Antonio.
long before we had any. It's got a
No, that one.
It
That
ran.
was
Yeah.
a big block.
It ran at Little River. It made
I
two-
just ran it just at the track.
Oh, that's
Just
right.
make that
Okay.
one day.
That's right, yeah.
But I mean, it made 2 passes probably 10 years ago before we knew anything about fuel
Yeah.
injection. We just kind of lost steam on it and
Right.
it sat in the corner of the shop. And then we just threw it together. I mean, the motor's been sitting with all the parts on it for at least 8 years. And so we just threw it in there just to see, just to play with it. And it's got a 10-plus-year-old Big Stuff 3. And
Oh my
it's
God.
got ancient
Big
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Which we just threw it on there just to make it run, just to make noise and have fun with it. And
Right.
I mean, it does show some decent potential, even for a stock bottom end deal. I mean, I know the rods are gonna have other plans,
Put
but
some boost on it.
He made that first pass, and I was like, don't let it blow. Please let it blow. And it didn't.
Well, hey,
Put-
so how many passes did you put on it at the roundup?
2 passes,
Oh, really?
only 2. Yeah, the first one spun because it was the chassis setup was completely in left field. The suspension tune-up was in left field. It's got a whole all new front suspension on it, so we had to change a couple things. We
Gotcha.
came back, loosened everything up, and I mean it stood up about a foot and a half off the starting line.
Hook it up there, huh? Good
Yeah,
deal.
but we're fighting some ignition issues, so it's going back to Holly like it should be.
Okay, Holly, yeah.
Well, now this
Like
is
God
a,
intended.
this is a Navigator 4-valve, like a
Five
Cobra,
star, yeah.
Cobra style motor.
It's very similar, yeah.
So how much boost did you put in it?
No idea. Whatever that
don't even
little.
have
We know what those motors make, in a
Well,
Cobra.
it's got a gear-driven F1R on
Yeah.
it. So I mean, really, the gear drive will make probably 25 pounds of boost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I mean-
big stuff. That's the thing. Big stuff is going to do so much.
It's
for everything.
it's like a dinosaur. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, some people love it, and I'm not knocking it. You
No,
know?
of course, yeah.
It's just it's foreign to me. I'll be honest.
It's
you
like
know,
having a flip phone.
I messed with
Yeah.
I messed with the Holly, you know, looking over Chris's shoulder
Yeah.
and Bob Bales and stuff, you know, learning what to do and me fiddling with it on my own car and
Of course,
stuff.
yeah.
So I kind of have an idea how it works and how to play with it. But
Right.
the big stuff was
Yeah. I mean-
completely different.
And you're right. People love it. People still run it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I mean, it's not knocking it by all means, but it is a. If you're looking for something easy to navigate through, it's like.
No, when I think that one's like a Gen 1 or 2, like that's,
Oh, wow, that's
it's
really
old,
old. That's
they're,
really old.
they're up to Gen 4 now. But, you know, so we just threw it together just to play with it and make some noise and, you know, drive the neighbors crazy, you know, starting it up and cleared it out. But,
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
but I mean, it's showing pretty good promise, you know. I mean, really, I just want to kind of show some of the people, the Facebook people that tell you can't do something that you can.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, the
Here's the reason why I
Facebook
ask you. I ask you because everybody today wants to LS a Fox body, and here there
Yeah.
you see those Navigator motors sitting around everywhere, and the Ford purists will always say, "Man, I don't want that LS thing," but you know, so they'll try everything to keep Ford. So either you're gonna go to an old Windsor, you know, type motor, or even a Boss before you hit an LS or something. But those little
Coyote's the way
motors,
to go.
Well, the Navigator's the poor man's Coyote.
right?
Yeah.
But you're putting some serious boost into it, and it's not letting go. You know, just
I mean,
like you would assume.
Everybody tells
Right,
you know
soon.
you get mixed reviews, you know, because the Navigator didn't come. It came with a factory forged crank, but unlike the Cobra, it did come with factory forged pistons and rods. So of course you get mixed reviews. You know, I just put some feelers out there. Hey, you know, what's the horsepower limits of these stock bottom minutes? Of course you get people. Oh, if you make 400, it's gonna blow up. If you make 500, it's gonna blow up. If you make 600, it's like, yeah. And then I was like, how fast have people actually been? And then you can't really get any good answers. Like, oh,
Right.
it'll blow up before it runs 6.0.
Yeah, 'cause
and I'm like, no.
These motors back in the late '90s, you know, all the manufacturers moved up to the powdered metal rods, and those things went along with the LS motor, the powdered metal rods. So
Yeah.
the technology isn't like
Vast.
way off compared to another, because there's a bunch of 4.8, 5.3s that are running powdered metal rods, and they're putting 18, 20 pounds of boost on these things.
It's all
and
about the tune-up.
it's exactly
Is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have
The-
good fuel. We're gonna
you
have
can
good
make
fuel
them
in it and
live.
stuff. So I think I think we'll make 700-ish.
Yeah.
750.
Yeah.
So on top of putting an engine man assist on it, Holly,
Yeah.
what else are you gonna plan? Are you gonna stick it out with the rods, or are you gonna put rods in it, or
Oh,
are you gonna run it out to hang?
we're
it
already
out?
working. I'm ordering parts to build another motor. You know, we're gonna build one that's gonna be a little more stout. I'm still gonna utilize a lot of the stock parts because this is supposed to be a budget deal. You know,
Yeah.
we got the big motor. If I would have put it back in and go crazy.
Yeah,
but,
he can put his big block in there anytime.
Yeah.
but you know, maybe the plan with this one is to do a little bit of some top end stuff, some local stuff. Just
But like Paul
Making
said,
passes.
nobody's doing that. So
Nobody's
that's-
doing it because they don't know the technology is not there. But
that's there, yeah.
everybody would rather just go get
Not a lot of
LS.
people are doing it.
But those motors are sitting there, and for you to go and just put a Chevy motor in a Ford. Come on, think about this. Go to the junkyard, do some Navigator motors, put one of those in there, put some Holly, and go have some fun. You know,
yeah.
instead
I'm
of
not hating on Ellis motor. They make their
No.
motor. They make a bunch of power,
Yeah.
but
there's
I-
those
But
motors out
everybody
there.
does it.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't want to be everybody.
Exactly
No.
my point. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's-
And we don't do things the way everybody does them
Yeah.
either. So
Yeah, I've already been questioned multiple times why I'm putting a junk Navigator motor in.
well,
Because I
why
went
I'm
to-
running
we had
why
it.
I'm running a big block Ford. You know.
It's a junk 5.3 that they're pulling out of a freaking
No,
truck.
I'm a truck. They're pulling truck motor out.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all guys listen, man. There's a lot of stuff that you guys are listening from Fort Camp here, and you don't have to LS everything, guys. Moving on. All right. God damn it! Don't ruin my fuck butt.
That's true. That's true. Like I said, I mean, you're out of the box, thinking out of the box,
Yeah.
something different. You know, maybe something. If you get some good numbers, then man, shit, everybody. Them junkyards can have enough mod motors.
Well,
Yeah.
we got a stack of them at our shop, just in case.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm pretty hard on stuff, so who knows?
Yeah, we do things that not everybody does, so, you
I'm
know.
not saying I
we like to
recommend
be
it, but we
different.
do stuff different.
Nothing
do
wrong,
things
man.
different,
Nothing
yeah.
wrong with that. Hey, I dig it.
No one's gonna put their wife in a 2,000 horsepower car either.
No, you're right. It's not 2,000.
It's
Yeah.
1,000.
It's got something. That's funny.
So your plan is to stick it out, run some events to pretty much the whole year with this combo, or I mean is that your plan?
Yeah, as long as the stock rod's hold out. We'll race until we.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's just another one. Just get another one. Come over here. Well,
Yeah,
by
I
that
mean,
time you already have your other.
Yeah, we're
block
trying to
together.
get the other one together pretty quick. That way we have a fallback and
Yeah.
get it together. Yeah, I mean, and that one should run pretty decent. I mean, it ain't gonna
Yeah.
run no crazy numbers like the big block did, but
Yeah, I mean, but it's what you call budget. It's a budget.
well, yeah, we're not putting this one together to
Right.
make 1,600 horsepower.
Of
We
course.
got a motor that does that.
Right.
You know,
It makes 1,000 horsepower.
on the plan with the plan with the budget 1,000 horsepower.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, the plan with the big blocks is to do some. We have some plans in store for that one too.
So let's kind of jump back to the beginning. So the discussion about combos, your combo.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about fuel, different fuel.
Yeah.
Would you share?
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to share?
Oh,
a little bit? I mean, just more octane. Is it
Yeah,
high
we
octane?
went to a C25.
C25. Yeah. Okay. Were y'all running like
23.
okay? In which I mean that's a 23, 25. That's all out nitrous gas for all purposes.
But,
high
and I
octane.
do have to do a shout out here to Shortridge Automotive.
Shortridge, okay.
For always hooking us up with our fuel.
Barrels. Good deal.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. He is a distributor. Shout out to Shortridge and Temple, Texas. So I mean, nothing other than that. I mean, but yes, when you get that different octane, that changes your tune. I mean, it's got a little bit to do with that. So that was a different ballgame. I'm assuming the heads, different quench, something going on. Compression. I'm sure it's just a whole different ballgame.
just all of it.
Everything.
Yes.
At that level, because I know you said you guys had to go grab some oil. Is it a
Yeah.
specific one that you just want to stick with, or just
So you have to break it, y'all
you're,
It's
you're
our
comfortable with it?
We run driven. It's Joe Gibbs driven.
Joe Gibbs?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's what our builder recommends.
Right,
and
Joe
when
Gibbs.
When
he
he
takes
tells
our
us,
motors apart, he
You do
tells
it,
us,
yeah.
Yeah.
Bearings
asks us how many runs are on these bearings, and we tell him, and
They all look good. or
they
something.
look like they just
Yeah.
came out of the box. Then I'm not going to change what I
Yeah,
run.
yeah. That's enough proof right there.
Yeah.
Proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, that stuff was always pushed by Mike over at Austin Performance because everybody, I don't know, like 20, 15 years ago, everybody was flattening the camshafts. And so he just started carrying Joe Gibbs. He's like, hey, look, if you're going to stick with that dumb, hydraulic flat tap it or even solid, I've got cases of Joe Gibbs. I'm like, well, what about this, all these, all these recipes that people were trying to do. He says, don't even bother with it. Just get some of that, and then hopefully move on to a roller cam. Because
Well, even my
sure.
motor, my poor motor, my car was together for 4 or 5 years, and we never took it apart, and it got abused and abused and abused, and he took it apart to pull the bearings out. So
Look good.
he said if we didn't have new bearings, we would reuse these.
Yeah.
He said these look perfect.
Yeah, thanks to this new
So-
formula of regulations, if you don't know, most off-the-wall oil, even, the stuff that says high performance, you're pretty much getting some shit oil that's going to break down in some extreme conditions. So, yeah, you guys make a big point as
Yeah.
far as sticking with Joe Gibbs because, it's not going to...
Got a lot of zinc content.
Yeah, the zinc content is way higher. I remember seeing the points. I don't know how the points work or the numbers, but yeah, Joe Gibbs was like way up there compared to not even an eighth of the
it's
zinc
probably,
content that
yeah.
your oil should have.
When a
So.
lot comes down to
and
regular
we trust everything that he tells us. He's been building our motors since day one, all of our big blocks, and we've had one failure that wasn't even his fault. It
Nah, I
was
think it was just a parts failure.
Component failure.
parts failure. Pistons, that's my fault. But
20 years.
That's nitrous car
that's
problems.
nitrous car problems. Yeah.
Nitrous car problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
That does happen. I mean, if you had an engine builder that's had many years of experience, yeah, of course, do what he says, right? I mean, that's the rule. I like to stick with certain engine oil. I mean, if it works, it works. And it's good that Summit carries it. I mean, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then we were able to go up and get it. Yeah.
It's beautiful, Arlington Summit right there, bam. And it is great. So I guess previous the oil had braking oil. Y'all cranked it up and y'all changed the oil right there, or y'all put the oil there at the track.
At the track.
At the track.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So it was
sure,
literally
and we're really good
fresh,
about
yeah.
we change that oil
Of
before
course,
every
yeah.
race. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the longevity. Yeah, it makes sense. Especially if you go by the case, get sponsorship driven. Kato.
I mean, nice.
Yeah. Hello, Joe.
Since
Gibbs.
it doubled,
Yeah.
it's like $18 a quart.
Oh
right now.
yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
it's
really?
like
It's gone that
every-
high?
Just like everything,
Yeah, it's
inflation. I mean, I
what
can
am I
see that.
complaining about the gas and every other? Hell, about my damn honey bun at the damn store. It ain't the same no more.
It's like this big now.
Josh, I gave some money to Josh. He comes back with just 50 cents. I said, dude, I gave you $5. That honey bun, Dad, is $4.99. I'm like, shit.
Yeah. I understand the
Yeah,
inflation.
no, it is just having fun.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's just hopefully that doesn't happen again. But for you guys, family racing is a big part of your business and your family. You keep it, family, grandmother, right? Daughter, right? Everybody, it's a family affair. You take everybody event, and that's the beautiful thing. You can. That's the good thing about a racing family that you can take to the race, family, truck them down for a couple days, weekend, just have a good, nice, fun time. Everybody's having a blast. That's what racing's about to me. And I think you guys stick it all in the family.
Y'all still have that big travel
Yeah.
You got to.
sucker?
Yeah.
I mean, I bet that's a great entertainment for all you guys. I'll just jump in it
Oh yeah.
and go.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's probably one of the reasons why I don't like going no more. Because man, the racing back, you used to be racing be done by midnight. It ain't like that.
It's not. You
No,
gotta
no,
stay.
not
Think
really.
about
Spend the
staying
night,
over.
man.
Yeah, well, you have to.
You have to, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
there was no way we could have driven
know.
home after that. You know.
Yeah.
There-
So
you know,
it's good you
I'll
have
fall
positive-
asleep in the car in the station.
We've had different scenarios of
Yeah.
different people when they go to the track somewhere.
Yeah.
You know,
they say Bucky's always that little
Yeah,
pissed
yeah.
off they crash out. Right?
Tommy, I think he said he fell asleep in the truck he got from Barrett Jackson or whatever. Mark with the Turquoise 55, he would just sleep in his trailer and AC would freeze him, and then because
We slept in the trailer.
Yeah.
We did Pinks All Out in Houston one time, and we were sleeping, and it got cold.
Cold.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so cold. Yeah.
Yeah, the air mattresses weren't quite so
Yeah.
comfortable. But
Now,
no,
there's-
like I said,
go ahead.
I mean, it's just hard to do that now,
Yeah.
especially like with the good racing, Ennis, XRP. Man, you just can't drive home. You just
No.
can't do it like
And
that.
we're bringing his little one.
Right, yeah.
You know, I
so it's
mean-
good you got the accommodation. So it's almost like that's what I've been.
That's the
You needed like a pusher or something to.
No, yeah,
You can entertain the little one. Put the
Right.
TV on, bam, quiet,
Yeah.
sleep.
Well,
shower.
she wants to go up to the starting line all the time. So she's
Even at
in the,
midnight.
well, she falls asleep earlier than that.
Right.
But I mean, she fell asleep in the back of the smart car when the cars were going.
That's true. Look, so
Yeah.
let's talk about that. So you guys, I seen that long time ago. Y'all were looking for a nice car in the pits, and y'all went with the smart car. Man, I was like, that's the best idea. How do y'all fit that thing? Does it fit in the trailer? What's going on?
It's smaller than a golf cart.
Is it a gas powered one or the
It's a gas powered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big
And
thing
it's a
about.
convertible, so you
Yeah.
climb out the top. Like
Yeah.
we
Oh,
have.
when you put it in the
Oh,
stacker.
if you ever watched us load,
bit of a circus, but
it is a circus,
Everything
and
has place.
everything has to go in
Yeah.
a certain order. If it
Okay.
doesn't, then it won't fit.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, like I said, the
What we
smart car was everybody was getting smart cars. Pushing
Yeah.
your car down, towing it, whatever, driving down.
I just want one just to go around the neighborhood. It's just
You can buy it for about
you know,
34 grand.
why even
you
turn
can't do a
on?
burnout in them. We've already tried.
Yeah, we
Hell, I just get my foot out and just do a burnout.
You know, Flintstones.
Yeah.
Flintstones.
When we first got
Did
it,
it.
the first thing we do, whenever we
Yeah.
get something new, we try that.
Like, is that one tire spinning? No, okay, crap. That's okay.
Yeah.
No, yes, not enough power for that. And that thing is, we put that through hell and back. I mean, because we were towing Steven's car with it and pushing mine, a smart car.
Wow. Yeah.
We were at the same
Oh, at the same time.
The same
Yeah.
class.
Ooh,
We're
I
in
bet
the
that
same
car was
class.
like, oh shit.
Yeah, that smart car's like, oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that was a big. Everybody was getting smart cars, and for their
Fit them in the
pushing
trailer,
cars
yeah.
down. They fit in trailers.
Well, it's either that or get what do you call those? Like the one Thomas has, a little 4-wheel
Well, I mean,
What is the
people
name of
have
those?
golf carts. I mean, but
It's a golf cart, but there's another name
Like
for
the
it.
Polaris.
Like
Polaris.
But those
Yeah.
are bigger.
Yeah, those are
They're bigger, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, let's look at one of those." Or it was my other son. He looks at it, and then he looks
Yeah.
at the price. 12,000.
Yeah.
Man, I could
Well, we got a
I could
smart-
get me another Trans Am for that thing. He just,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna go
We
get
got
some
a
cheaper.
real good deal on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
yeah, smart cars are a big deal.
Yeah.
Golf carts are still, that was the thing. Golf carts.
I think it's kind of
Anyway.
yeah. If you're starting off, get a golf cart.
Yeah.
If you want to move up, get one of those smart cars. If you got the deep pockets, go get yourself a big Polaris.
that is the only thing that will
Yeah.
fit in there.
Yeah.
So,
It took us one time of freezing in Georgia
Mhm.
here.
on a
Me
golf
and
cart.
Chris were done.
Yeah. Believe it or not, because that thing's got windows. It's gonna get
You got
heat
heat.
enclosure, AC. Hey, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So see, this conversation was worth it for you guys that don't know. Get a smart car.
You can laugh at us with
Yeah.
our little circus cart,
Yeah.
but it works.
Yeah. How many people have y'all crammed in that smart car? Like a true like a clown.
5.
I was gonna say 3, but I don't
Well,
know.
you put 2 in the front, and
Yeah.
then you can have 3 sitting on the tailgate. We put the tailgate
That's
down.
crazy. It'll okay. Well,
Yeah,
it'll work.
it works. It works.
It barely goes, but it'll.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Well, some little stands
Well,
in
and
the
then
front.
we got little portable little pit bikes. Me
Yeah.
and Chris
Wow,
do.
they
So.
look like little gnomes or whatever they look like.
Burrow Max.
Bro Max.
He's
Yeah.
got one that does pops wheelies if you give it too much. His is way faster.
Well, we got a Power Wheels for my little kid that does
Oh
wheelies
yeah,
now.
we got 18-volt, 20-volt battery and everything.
Does no prep wheelies.
That's a secret.
Yeah,
We're gonna build one of those,
got
those
power.
stools with the little motor underneath because they're short, compact. You can fit it somewhere. We're like, hey, we could probably do like 3 of those and just throw them in the
My
back.
friend used to have like a motorized like cooler.
Yeah, there's a cooler and then there's the stool. So we're like, which one do we do?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man. So let's go look at some of the top end events because there's one in May, right?
May.
You guys are gonna be there.
28th,
right?
Oh, yeah.
Right, you're gonna be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
2 cars probably at least.
you guys are sponsoring that too? Are you guys throwing? I don't know if you're not, but he's got a lot of sponsors. I mean, he's got some
We always
we
try
do
to
throw in
help
some
made
of
out.
them.
Yeah.
cool deal. Yeah, because like Matt, he's doing a good job. I mean, and they do like
He's
color
a good
flyers.
kid.
Him and Calabrese, man, they got some Photoshop skills, man.
Yeah.
They
I know
they-
that Vegas
yeah,
night they put Alvarado in there.
It's an eye catcher, man. It's like, wow, okay, I dig it. So I mean,
You talking about the flyers?
The
and all that
flyers,
stuff?
yeah.
I don't know who's doing the flyers. I'd like to blame Calabrese for all that because it's got his style on it. But
Yeah.
I think if he's not doing, he's telling somebody. He's
Yeah.
telling somebody you do that.
Yeah,
Somebody's here.
Yeah.
It's killer, man. I dig it.
Yeah.
But like I said, so good events, good turnout. May ought to be nice and start to get nice and toasty, which is great. Good, nice racing weather, if you will. And 'cause I guess they're gonna
He can run
start.
the air conditioning.
That's what I'm saying. That's his relief, right? When he goes racing, he gets to cool down.
Would they bitch if you're leaking AC down if you go up to the line?
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just cut it off way back over to the
Don't
trailer.
turn it on. Yeah.
So those are getting a lot of traction. Good events, and I like the way they dig in something like they did the cook off, like a barbecue rib thing.
That was a
going
different one because it was on
That
Sunday. So he's like,
That was a
well,
Sunday.
Sundays when everybody barbecue. So
The
Yeah.
one they're
Who
doing
does the
the
best
28th,
rib?
that's
Yeah,
on Sunday.
May
That's
on
Memorial
Sunday.
Day weekend.
Memorial Day.
I wonder what he's gonna put on there. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I hope it don't
I know he
rain.
tagged
Like-
us. He tagged
like
us.
always,
Look
like
at it.
Memorial Day, it always rains. But hopefully
Yeah,
it doesn't.
I know.
Hopefully it doesn't. I'm not gonna jinx it. Don't blame me.
You shouldn't have said it, man.
It's
He done-
Well, that's why it's in Texas.
Now hopefully we'll get a bad rap every time for the
past 2 years, it
mission.
either floods or it rains somehow.
Ooh,
But anyway, so
Yeah.
well, cool deal. So y'all guys can do that. Racing, you said Cinco de Mayo, and I know there's not a lot of schedules out there, but of course you're going to do some more of those events in your car.
Yeah.
In this year. Right?
Yeah, and it's
Something.
in
It's kind of too early to tell some of your schedules.
yeah, we just have to see. Not a lot of people are putting their stuff out.
Yeah.
But I'm following Dave Vassar's post where he was asking for events.
Oh,
so
schedules, yeah.
yeah, so we're kind of checking that out.
Yeah, and a lot of the good promoters. I mean, they'll start months.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff. So, but XRP, man, they always have something going on. It's like there's something going on there once a month. Some type of.
The cars are nice over there, man. It's like even if you catch all the videos,
Well,
I mean, there's
well,
not one
Biddle-
disappointing.
Biddle was mentioning when we talked about it. He said that a lot of those California cats they pay, like they leave their cars in Dallas. And they race. Whenever there's an event, they'll come down, they'll fly down, they'll go to XRP.
Yep.
So
Well, I
That's a
think
really nice
Bodie's
Bodie,
kid
yeah.
was here racing at the
Yeah.
at the roundup.
yeah, there was quite a bit of Cali crew there.
There's some stuff that normally I would only see on Instagram. They don't like some of the Instagram crowd doesn't go flow to Facebook because they're younger or whatever. But you're like, I've seen these guys running in California, or I'll see them, Vegas or something.
Right.
But then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
that turnout,
Yeah.
they were here in Texas. I'm like, dude, that was a stretch for them to come out here. But they
Yeah.
brought their stuff. So
In
Money.
in Biddle.
Money, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots
that's
of
Potts.
money.
Yeah. And Biddle was saying Potts, and that he said that the track prep in California is not great.
Well,
So
I
I mean,
they
we
come
got
here.
TJ
There's not
Bailey
much-
on it, and it's
Yeah.
like
There's not
awesome.
much small tire stuff going on over
He's
there.
doing
Right.
one.
Not
I think
radio
he's
stuff.
going to prep the one at
At,
Little River.
yeah, he's gonna do Big Sleepies on June.
Oh,
yeah.
They did get
We're
they-
not
they
going
got
to
him.
be there for that one, but
Yeah, well, let's see how that preps out. But yeah, he's supposed to be down prepping for
Yeah,
Big
that-
Sleepies race.
That works out pretty well though, man. I'm hoping they'll have them down there.
I
more
hope so
often.
too, man. I mean,
Be
'cause,
cool
man,
to see some real fast
I
radio
mean,
stuff. at
Little
River.
River,
Yeah.
that track can hook if when it's prepped. I mean,
Right.
You know all the the guys.
as long as it's not on top end,
Well, I
you
mean-
start from the way back.
No,
You're
about
good.
last
You know,
time
to do
I
it with a
ran out
$4,000 car,
there,
probably.
my car's a lot slower.
So what?
My car was like almost a second slower.
So yeah, so and you go, you put that much power there now, and yeah, it's not gonna hold it. So I
Yeah.
understand greatly because, like I said, I guess the last time you ran, what was the last time you ran your car there? It was like 17 or
No,
it was before that. 15.
I stopped running there in like 15, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why I started. No, 13 I
That's
ran.
when
I
you-
started with radials, and then I ran the
10X.
Rumble as long as we did that on
Right.
radials for the rest of that.
There's a lot of people that I remember that left Little River just because they were saying, man, this drag radio, man, it's not that track needs improvement.
Well, it just that was when it was going through all of the
The
owner
changes,
changes.
yeah. Yeah.
Like Kirkwood had that thing on point when he owned it, and then
Right.
it went to that other guy, and then.
Yeah, there was a couple of other cats.
And I'm sure, I haven't been to any of Mike's events. I know that you won a race since Mike's owned it. Yeah.
The blue car.
Yeah,
He went
yeah.
and tested and
That's
won
been
that
a
race.
lot- that's been
And
a
ran
long
pretty
time.
good.
Yeah, but-
Right. And like I said, I mean, and we talked about it. Like I said,
Yeah.
Little River's like, they unfortunately they don't have like the personnel, they don't have like the heads in place to like do the good prep that because we
Right.
know the track can hook. I've
Yeah.
seen
That one night that we were out there with that event,
that we put
the
on that-
Kings,
that-
man, the track was,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
freaking
you
sticky.
know,
a lot of
yeah.
hands and
Sticky
a lot
as
of-
hell.
Well, once that shade sits on that track, it's good to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
cools down. Yeah,
But that day, that was good.
yeah. That was in it was in
Like, they,
October.
like-
It was in October,
Yeah.
so it was like perfect fall weather. Man,
Yeah.
and the track was tight.
The only thing you got to watch for is when it starts getting too late,
Yeah,
and
the
it gets
dew.
the dew.
Oh man, that was bad. It was like 3 in the morning. I was still.
Yeah, sometimes even like at 10 o'clock, I mean, you'll start
Yeah.
selling and get kind of funky. I remember we ran some rumble races like, you want to split?
I think we did one
yeah, there was a
time.
couple times because it got real bad. I mean, the track got like real.
I think there were like 4 of us left, and we were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, let's just split
Yeah,
it."
because it gets real bad. So it depends, but
Well, you got the river right there too. So
yeah,
it's-
that
so,
doesn't
yeah.
help. That doesn't
No.
help.
Oh yeah, that contributes to it.
So, but I mean, Little River's doing what they can, and they're
Yeah.
holding events. And like I said, when they come and prep for Big Sleepies, I'm interested. I want to see how it's going to work because
Yeah.
if it works, then maybe it will be a recurring thing. They'll bring them.
Well,
over.
and I think they have a good surface for it now.
Yeah.
When we did radio racing one time in West Texas, and the surface was not there, and of course Gene went and prepped it,
Oh, Gene
and then
from,
when we
Denver.
went on our,
Yeah.
we started pulling up pieces of the track,
Oh, wow,
really?
whoa.
Started
Yeah.
biting.
Chunks.
Whoa.
chunks,
Like
throwing it out in the
chunks.
burnout.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Damn.
Because we do, I do my burnout past the starting line,
Oh,
and then
right.
it's just
So we're-
throwing
so we're
it. It was just
Shortening the
shredding
burnout
it.
up and
Yeah,
bunch of stuff.
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, Gene had we talked
That
about
was the end of that.
Den
Yeah.
was the
I
fastest
missed-
track there.
yeah, that
for a
track
while.
I missed it.
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah, it had records.
Isn't that the one where there's always high winds going across it? Or is that
No,
another
it was
track?
all.
No, it was kind of in a
It was in a little valley.
It always would
Oh.
create a
Valley.
bunch of stuff on the internet because Bermuda Triangle is always
Hey.
crazy cold and
I was-
trim and
I was just happy to have earned our name on a parking spot out there. That
Nice.
was like that's the highlight of my career.
well, the cool thing about
you
that
know?
was like Little River vibes, but
Not
big
nobody knows
track
me.
prep. It was like Motorplex mixed with
Yeah,
Little
man. I
River.
mean, it was a nice. I mean, you could if you were driving past 35, you would miss it because it's like hey, it's right there, railroad track right there. But I mean, the track was like glass. I mean, it was like fast cars. I
I've
mean,
never
it was-
seen a track that smooth since.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
bad. And they closed it down for whatever reason. But then it's funny. I talked about it like didn't close like I can't remember the owner of XRP.
Galen.
Smith.
Galen. It's like they already like bam. They're like it's planned.
Anticipate.
Boom, because XRP came and XRP is like the premier track.
Well, and it's nice to see that both of them still have good things going on. You know what I mean? Because they're just down the road from each
yeah,
other.
literally,
Yeah. I mean,
they're
there are
moving
different
around.
things going on. Different kinds of races.
Yeah, and I think it's good too because Ennis has come about because Ennis never did really have. They was always like you see Ennis is like okay, it's a pro NHRA track. Sometimes they run some brackets,
Right.
but then they started getting into they got it briefly for the Texas 275. They had a little circuit there. They would go back and forth there, and then
Yeah.
boom, now they're doing no prep. Mikey's having
Well,
his
they
event
see
there.
the money, so.
Oh yeah, man, it's good, and
And it's a great facility.
we talked
Well,
about
when
it.
the
God,
HRA
that-
holds up, comes in.
I
you
never
know.
have to pull my chute.
Ah.
There's so
Well,
much
that's good.
shut down.
Wow.
We talked about the track, but we also talked about the concession stand, the XRP. It's like,
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
it's not like just hot dogs and,
It's
and
gourmet
hamburgers.
food.
It's like
Yeah.
I said, turkey legs and some other good nice
Steak.
meals that
Damn.
you're not gonna get at concession stand. Anyway, so that makes it even better, right?
Oh, yeah.
Restrooms, top notch facility.
Oh
right?
yeah,
right.
everything is like
all
top
concrete
notch.
everywhere.
Yeah. So, hands down Galen and all those guys, man. Because like I said, unfortunately, it's just like for me, it's like 2.5 hours. I guess you guys are probably like 3 or 4, right?
Yeah,
So,
about
like,
3.5, 4 hours.
man, only if you guys heard anything about when Houston closed down, NHRA they have like a perimeter of like X amount of tracks they can have. That they might open the door for a track at Coda, but that's rumored.
Yeah,
It was more than rumored because DeJoria said it
she did.
on the record that
Yeah.
when Houston shut down,
It's gonna be something.
if they got a
happening.
national event, they would build it, but
Yeah.
nothing's happened yet. We're hoping it does.
Yeah, dude.
Be nice.
But
Their
you
backyard would be
notice
nice.
other like smaller tracks that are popping open. Like what is it, the one Wichita Falls was,
Wichita Falls, yeah.
and then the one that was Red Line,
Yeah, the
Isn't that
110 they call it
I-30?
I-30 Raceway, but
Yeah.
that was they
Pine Valley
Yeah.
is opening up again.
So that track, that 130 or Red Line, it was Red Line. That's actually a pretty nice track.
Yeah.
Because I used to go. They used to run old King of the Hill, the back half racing.
How long had that track been out? That's
Well, so
that's
it-
really-
It's been down for a while.
It was down
Yeah.
for a long time. So this was like in about 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
It ran for I don't know how many years, but then it closed down for a long time. And
Yeah.
it sat statically for a long time, and then about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe
Somebody
2 years ago,
got
it opened back up. And they've had some events there. I know that what's the flasher guy, the guy that's on
Oh,
Limpy.
Lippy.
Yeah.
He did a
Oh,
few
yeah.
events there. I think he's done a few events there, but yeah, you're right. Those little tracks are popping up, but I mean, those are tracks that are. There was a guy that I knew. He was from Georgia, and he goes, "Man, you guys have a lot of tracks, man, in Texas.
Yeah.
Tracks. They got tracks everywhere." I'm like, "Yeah, no," and they're closing down. They closed down too. San Antonio and Houston, and
Yeah.
a few others, man. So. And like San Antonio would have been that track was so nice too, man. It had potential.
When it opened,
Had
and then
good
it
bones,
just yeah.
shoot it back down. Yeah.
Did you guys hear anything about the have y'all heard anything about the Alamo Dragway one, the one that popped
It's
up
not-
and like it faded away just as
It's
fast?
not happening.
Yeah,
It
that
sounds
was-
like the investors
I
and
don't know what happened there, but
There's
the
a guy that's
owners
trying to
just-
put money together, but
he got far from it.
he's a long ways from anything that I could see.
I think they jumped the gun, man, when they started posting all that stuff.
I know, and then everybody was getting all excited, and
Yeah.
Something happened between the property owner
Yep.
and
Is
the
that-
leasee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
got
heard some details, but
They actually
Just
just
kinda-
quit. They're like, "Well, we're gonna find another place." I was like, "Oh, well, there goes all that
Yeah.
all that media hype, man."
Yeah,
'Cause
man, that
they for sure
They're
see
gonna
it.
open by March. And
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
plans.
Not till next year. We're looking for another. How you gonna open next year in the middle of the year when you don't even have another
Site,
section?
Yeah, that like tease. That's a teaser. For
Yeah.
now, but
Now I'm not sure if this was just an old track or what, but Laredo started doing some drag strip there, and
yeah, Jesse went down there. If
He went to
Eagle
it.
Pass has a
Now I'm from
road
there.
It's pretty much, I think,
Yeah.
a private road that they run.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
I'm from there, so that track, it's not really a track. It's just an entrance to, I believe, what was an old airport. But the entrance is a paved highway, and so since the it's been there forever, but I guess since the late 60s, early 70s, that was always a place for a lot of the big hitters from Texas to go down there and race. So you had pro stock cars. Like there's a guy at Corpus. He took his car down there way back in the day, and he made a big event out of the whole thing. So that's always been there, but it's not a drag strip. It is a no prep track,
like-
unless they decide to dump some glue on it. But I don't think they're gonna do that. It's
Yeah.
it's old school. They have stands and all kinds of stuff, but
Oh, they do?
it is a road. It is a highway. I mean, a regular 2-lane road off to the side of one of the main highways. But as you drive up, you start seeing stands. You start seeing some guardrails, cement, and people just kind of turn in and park. And so there is no open field. It's trees, mesquites, and you're going down it. But yeah, that's been around for a long time, but it was never officially like, oh, this was AHRA or
Yeah.
NHRA. No, it's
Yeah.
never been that one. But the Laredo one looks like it may have been. So I don't know how much of a...
I haven't seen. There was that
Yeah.
one few posts that Jesse went up there, and after that, I didn't see nothing.
Yeah.
Never again about it. So
Yeah, that Eagle Pass, it's what those guys are doing down there is inviting all the no prep dudes, like a lot of the 5112 and South areas.
Yeah.
That's all who's racing out there. But like Extreme or something like that, I don't think they're gonna invite. I don't think people would want to run like that because it's like another little river track. So I know Mike Murillo went out there like maybe 5 years ago. He was trying to hype it up, and so they got all the media and photos and stuff. But I don't know, man, that you want to make a 4-second pass there. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I trust my safety stuff, but
Yeah.
there's only so much it'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool guys. Like I said, I appreciate you guys coming out. We want to, we don't want to hold you up too long. I know it's during the week. And,
Yeah.
But appreciate you guys coming out, man. And I think it's good to come back in, just get everybody familiar with what you guys did and what you guys are doing, because everybody's interested. It got a lot of hype on the last one. I'll be on the record. Our last interview, my equipment started it failed when you was recording. I think Santa, so the quality wasn't quite there, and I apologize. But since then we had to upgrade some things. My equipment failed. But we're good to go now. We made
Came down to one little bitty little watch battery. You ruined it for us.
Yeah.
So we now know.
Anyway, so I apologize, but again, we got improved equipment.
Oh man,
so
we're
we
great.
made strides.
Yeah.
We're trying, right? Me and Paul are just here doing it on our. We're here just doing it on our spare time, having fun, getting everybody up to date. But again, appreciate Chris, Steven, Michelle.
It's all about getting all the five. Like we always say, it's always about getting the 5112 of racers, mom and pop shops get noticed, because there is big money in Austin now, and obviously they don't need advertisement because they do it on their own. But for everybody else who's been racing here for more than 20 years, we've always stuck together in one way or another. And so that's what we cater to. And so if we put the faces to the car or the shop to the owner, people will get today everything's Instagram, Facebook, social media, and not everybody knows that all these places are here in Austin still. They haven't gone away. So that's what we do. That's what we like to bring everybody in.
Of course, and of course, just like last time, you give a shout out to anybody that you'd like to.
There you go.
Yeah.
First off, our crew, John McGinn, who comes up from Houston every time and helps us and does
Awesome.
whatever he wants. My daughter-in-law,
Of course.
maybe. Allie. And usually John brings his dad,
Of
and
course,
they
yeah.
help.
Good deal.
And then of course our shop, Allies Automotive.
Okay,
who,
awesome.
Chris he runs that and
He runs that.
lets
Awesome,
me
yeah.
play with the big toys. And let's see, Spree Automotive in Bernie.
That's your engine builder.
That's our engine builder. Then we
Okay.
have Dave Vassar with Nitrous Outlet.
Shout out to
God,
Dave.
I love that guy. And Bob Bales with Ray Systems Inc. He helps us tune and does our Holly stuff for us
Awesome.
and has forever.
Yep.
Shortridge Automotive for our
Shortridge, shout
fuel.
out. Yep.
Let's see, Performance Transmissions.
Transmission guy. Okay.
Yeah.
You gave a shout out last time. Fantastic.
yeah.
Come on, a shout out.
And
Where they go? Where they at? Where they located at?
They're up
they're
north, right?
they're in Illinois.
Okay. Okay.
But man, they're right there.
Worth it.
They are definitely worth it. Pro Charger.
10-4. I love it.
Yeah.
You're a
We're a dealer for
A dealer.
Pro
We're a
for-
dealer for Pro
okay.
Charger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So.
So just FYI, everybody out there, right? So Allies.
Allies Automotive. What all do y'all service and maintain there? What's your knit and grit? What's the bread and
The
butter?
only thing we don't do is estate inspections. We can do pretty much anything else you need. We primarily focus on maintenance. We do a lot of engine swaps for people blowing up their engines and
Like
Just
general oil,
general-
transmission changes and
yep,
stuff like
general
that.
maintenance, brake work. We can do it all. And
Alignments, anything, stuff like that as well.
Alignments,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're located in South Austin.
South Austin,
So there
down
you
by
go.
Slaughter and Manchac.
Okay.
Share to give your address. I mean,
Yeah, 11230 Slaughter Creek Drive, 7748.
We're in the country. So
Yep.
if you think you're lost,
Yeah.
you're almost there.
Yeah, we're out in
and-
yeah, I've been out there one time and I was like, you're like coming off the 35, you're in town, like boom, okay, where you? Yeah.
And I can't forget to
I think I got
mention
lost, but I mean, it's right
Ron with Afterworks
Okay.
and Yancey with Viscous.
there. Shocks, of course, suspension. 10-4.
Yeah, my suspension is awesome.
Awesome, good
And it's
deal.
thanks to those guys. So.
So, because Austin is horrible to get across, if you guys live in South Austin, check out Alley's Automotive. They know hot rods. They know drag cars.
Dailies,
They know how to
Dailies.
work on your
Dailies,
stuff.
yep.
So that is a shop to look into. For the North guys, we've already put some plugins before with the different podcast interviews that we do. So there's North guys people, but for South Austin,
There
hey,
you go.
Alley's, man. I've known about you for quite a bit now, and you are a big Ford fanatic. So I'm sure they'll take care of your trucks or
Hey,
your vintage
Hey,
vehicle.
we work on Chevys and Dodge too.
Yeah.
You know?
They break too.
But if you have a Ford vehicle that you don't want somebody to go and wrench it like a Chevy, take it to you guys. I'm assuming, right? So there you guys go.
Okay, awesome guys. Well, again, appreciate it. You guys be safe. Until next time, be on the lookout for this episode. Be out soon. You guys say peace. We're out. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Peace.
Thank you.